You gonna have any fights this week? Oh man, we gotta have some fights.
News flash. GM says he's open to trading up, moving back, picking a spot. Like everybody always says the same thing. So, like we have a plan right now to go up if we have to and be aggressive with it. We've got a plan if we stick and pick, obviously. And we got a plan to go back if it's within a certain range. I think the thing we have to remember is we're drafting these players for a minimum of 4 to 5 years. We're drafting them for the future, and that's what we're hoping to get out of them. Not so much where they fit in initially as a rookie, their first year.
What has it been like just working with Antonio Pierce this offseason and sharing each other's goals?
Yeah, it's been really good. He's got a great vision of what he wants in the football team. He hasn't deviated from that, which really helps the personnel department as far as we're trying to match up players to our football team. He's got a great feel for evaluating players, which I'm not surprised. He played at a high level. He's coached at high school level, college level, the pro level. What's been nice since he was in college recently, he knows some of these players already. He may have recruited them, may have known about them, may have played against them when he was coaching in college. So that's been helpful. But I think the biggest thing is he has a real vision of what he wants, and he hasn't, gone like this with that. So it really helps us kind of identify exactly who's going to fit as a Raider.
Do you see yourself more in the early rounds as a guy that's drafting for need or a guy that's drafting best player available?
Yeah, I mean, that's the question every year. You try and balance it out, but the biggest thing is your needs change and they're unpredictable. And a need we may have today may not be a need in August. We may have a player in the building right now that continues to develop and grow and fills that need. We may have a position group who feels really strong today, and then we get to September, October, and it's not that strong. So like I said, your needs change quickly and unpredictably. So it's hard to go into a draft just thinking how we're going to line up this opening day. We have to take a little bit more long-range approach to it and look 4 or 5 years down the road rather than just how they fit today.
And there we go. Welcome to the Cage Match Show. This is the draft special, I guess. We're talking about the draft that's coming up tomorrow. So happy draft eve, I guess. How you doing, Asylum? How you doing?
I'm doing okay. I like what I heard there out of Telesco, which I'm sure a lot of people overlooked or whatever when he talked about we're drafting for the long term, not necessarily for what they could do right this second. That's how winning teams draft. You draft for the long term. It ain't no short term solutions in this when you're drafting. I was loving to hear that part.
Are you saying that we're not just drafting players to just plug and play and go in right away? Is that what you're saying?
That's what I was hearing.
That's what everybody wants, though. It's what everybody wants, though. But okay, anyways, I am the Oakland Raider Savage, and like I said, with me right here is Mr. Iron Man, Cal Ripken Jr., Asylum, who's been on every single episode so far. We're going to keep that streak alive.
God's willing, I can continue the streak.
Someone's trying to get drafted.
Yeah, you know. Hey, I got a motor. I got the same motor as Max Crosby.
Let's turn off
Keep
this.
it coming. 1, 2, 3, 4. No matter how many shows we got to do in a week.
Yes, there is no offseason when it comes to the Raiders, and there is no offseason when it comes to Raider Nation. That's how we do it over here on the Cage Match. And but before we do anything, of course, if I can find it, because I had it ready, here it is. There we go. We got to do our favorite subject, which is the shameless plug.
All right, everybody, go to the YouTube channel, The Cage Match Show. Go ahead, like, subscribe, give a thumbs up, hit that bell so you know every time we come on. If for some reason you don't do YouTube, you can catch us on Oakland Raiders Savage page or the Asylum page. Then don't forget our sponsor, W. Go to WGG. Put in, once you get your order going, you go to checkout in the promo box, put Cage Match, one word, and get 10% off of your entire order.
Like we always say, when you think of wins, you think of dubs. And when you think of dubs, you think of W. W energy to be just like your favorite Raider player, Max Crosby.
Hey, and maybe now Christian Wilkins.
On Christian Wilkins. And maybe even Tyree Wilson. Oh, because they're both mentoring him. Oh, I can't wait for the defense to come out there in the field and kill somebody. Tackle somebody very hard, not kill. We're not about violence here on the Cage Match Show. Also, remember...
To AP, we want violence.
Oh, yeah, violence and all that other great stuff, but we're trying to do a wholesome educational show. Some folks like to watch our show and get pointers on how to make their own. So, anyways, going into what I want to go into. Also, remember the 10th anniversary Raider Nation Summer Kickoff 2024 with the likes of current Raider players, DJ Turner, Divine Diablo, and Jacoby Myers. Make sure you go to, let me put that thing up right now too, because we had that over here. Go to summerkickoff2024.eventbrite.com. May 11th, Kern County Fairgrounds, Bakersfield, California. It's indoors, so you don't have to worry about the outside weather where it's going to be raining or if it's going to be hot. We're going to be indoors, and you're going to see other legends like Aaron Matthews, Willie Jones, Wiki Williams, Michael Alexander, Jeff Barnes, Greg Townsend, Reggie Kinlaw, Mike Ciani, and also two-time winning Super Bowl champion, first ever Raiders starting quarterback in franchise history, and Hall of Famer Tom Flores. He'll be out there too, so make sure you get your tickets. And also, I will be the MC.
I was about to say, don't forget who's going to MC the whole event.
Our whole event.
Oakland Raiders Savage. Oh,
I'm gonna talk to one of our guests right after the show, and because I want to know if that person can go, I want to have them on stage and do what they do best. And you know who I'm talking about. Oh yeah, but let's go into. I'm gonna do it too. I'm the guy with the mic, and I'm gonna put that person up there. So, cause he deserves to be up there. Anyways, let's go into the show. This is the draft special, and of course we have our hard hitting panel. So let me do this because I was practicing all week for this. Let me get my echo going. Okay, let me take these off. Wait, let me take you off. Okay, sorry.
Oh. What happened?
You know what? You keep messing with my stuff. Okay. She comes with her perspective every other Wednesday and hard-hitting perspective. It is Miss Peggy right here. Let me put my thing. All right, and we also have, he is the bullhorn of the black hole. He is the Raider Oath himself. It is your friendly neighborhood Raiderman. There you go. And also Asylum. There you go. All right, let me put this off right
There
here.
we go.
All
Now
right.
I
don't
love
know
it,
how that
man. Go, Savage. Go, baby. Go. You hot right now.
Someone kept
Dylan?
pressing. Someone kept.
No, you couldn't
messing
be
with-
heard.
You know what? I'm not getting
No.
drafted, okay? So I don't have to be perfect. All right.
Hey, I'm aiming for the top 5. What you talking about?
That's top 5 on the
fellas-
big board. All right.
Fellas,
Let's-
I just wanted to get in and just it started. I know y'all weren't going to go this direction, but I'm running out of time, and I don't want to do that. I just need to ask you, what do y'all feel about us finally having a real GM to run a draft instead of a head coach?
Well,
Who wants to go first?
I will go. Well, I'm gonna say this. It's been a long while since we had a real GM. Or let me start over. It's been a long while since we had an experienced GM since Al Davis. You know, you're welcome. You're welcome, Chris. Anyways, so
Hey, until let's go, I trust.
in Telesco, I trust. So having a man, you know, he was 10 years in. 10 years. For the Chargers, 10 years experience, and here's his number 1 draft picks over here. So, I mean, he's had a couple guys over here. Justin Herbert, we had Jerry Tillery coming over. He played a couple years with us, but Joey Bosa, Mike Williams. So he is really good in the first round. Justin Herbert. So, yeah, with that,
No,
yeah, there you go.
He was running back. No, I'm happier than shit. Like I said, I got faith in Telesco. The experience, I think, is going to go a long way. You heard it in his interview. It's not about trying to get that home run hit that could do everything right now. It's about the future. What he say, 3, 4, 5 years down the road, having a player that can work and do and go. That to me is how you build a winning team. Is having, you know, those trenches guys, the Crosbys, the shit like that, and getting them in the first round too. Don't get me wrong. We struggled in the first round, second round. We've reached so many times, and yet we got somebody who's been around great quarterbacks. He's been around great picks, and ain't afraid to probably tell his head coach, you know what? No, I'm the GM. I'm going to pick this. My job is to pick the players, build the team. Your job is to coach the players that I give you.
yes.
I ride that exact same train, and in the same vein, to answer the question directly, I really couldn't be happier. Like literally right now, I don't know. In all of my life experience being a Raider fan, I don't know if I've ever been as excited as I am right now. Because I mean, you know, like nobody could ever predict what King Al was going to do. Nobody could ever walk into a draft. We can have any idea you want. He'd throw a curveball just to prove you wrong. You know, so but now. Coming in with a guy like Telesco, you know, a seasoned veteran, you know, real primetime GM. Not to take any shots at any of our previous guys, but, you know, this is not a project. This is not a first timer. This is not, you know, some gift position. This is like, okay, the ball is swinging now. It's time to go knock some freaking buildings down. And I'm excited to see what he does because everybody seems to think they know what's going to happen. I'm really more excited in the fact that nobody has any freaking idea what the hell they're talking about right now.
And let me also add that when you have a guy like Telesco coming from the Colts, VIA, the Chargers, this is a guy that has an unbelievable network of connections all around the league.
Bills.
I mean, he can make a phone call and they will answer his phone call. Okay, if he makes a bid for a player, people are going to listen to him. This is the kind of guy. This is the kind of command and respect that I'm afraid. Much as people might have liked him, McKenzie, Mayock, and even Ziegler did not have around the league.
That's a great point, Miss Peggy. And to piggyback that, the fact that he's being coupled with a guy, a real baller, a go-getter like Antonio Pierce on his first opportunity out, you know, to see a young, fresh mind getting to put their footprint on the NFL in a brand new capacity, to have him going with a seasoned veteran like Telesco, but somebody he's a shooter. He's no punk, but he don't sit back. I like patience. You know, I don't like guys that's impetuous and just go out there and just, you know, throwing crap up against the wall, see what sticks. This guy is calculated. He's close to the vest, and it's good to see one of those guys on our side for a change. And it depends what Miss Peggy just said. The fact that he can actually pick up the phone and he's got some connections out there. I'm curious to see what happens on draft day. We might actually see a deal that you've never seen before. Some unprecedented shit. Actually, a deal being done with the Raiders.
And before anyone speculates, it ain't moving up to the number 3-2 spot. It ain't that one.
I'm okay with that. I think everybody panicking for no reason. I love Jaden Daniels and all that, but if it don't happen, that ain't fucking up my Christmas. I'm opening my presents. I'm playing with the boxes anyway.
I can't see Telesco giving up the farm for one player when you have holes to fill. Telesco's going to be that guy. We got holes to fill. Let's fill our holes. Let's be smart. And if we can trade back and get more draft picks, there's nothing wrong with that. There's absolutely nothing wrong in this draft to collect more draft picks by moving down a few spots and getting another second rounder, another third rounder. There's mock drafts that we're going to be put up. I know when we did our Savage on, when we had Raider Nation our mock draft, we did a couple trade backs and we had 3 fourth-round picks.
Yeah.
Before we get to the draft, our little draft boards, I just want to talk about the people that Telesco can make a deal with. I'm telling you now, 1, 2, and 3 ain't answering the phone. Okay, they need a quarterback, and they're just hoping the right guy. But now Arizona comes into play at number 4. They might do business with you. Maybe the Chargers. Maybe the Giants, Tennessee, Atlanta, Chicago, but here we go. Minnesota and Denver gots to be the wild cards because
Minnesota's moving up. Minnesota, I think Minnesota. They got the 2 first-round draft picks. They're moving up with the Chargers to get their guy, JJ McCarthy or Drake May, whoever's going to be.
He may not be. Wait. He may not be there. I'm telling you, 1, 2, and 3 are going to pick quarterbacks.
Yeah. Caleb Williams, Jaden Daniels going to go 1, 2. Okay, then you're going to have Drake May and McCarthy. Patriots going to pick either Drake May or McCarthy, and the other one will be sitting there at 5 for them to move up and get.
Yeah, but the Denver Broncos, I don't care if they traded for the worst quarterback in the NFL. Rather have Zach Wilson but anyway, they got to make a move. You think them fans, as much as I despise Denver, they've been through a lot of suffering over there. I'd hate to have to hug with him through another year of suffering if he doesn't pick a top quarterback this year. I cannot see Peyton sitting there waiting for crumbs.
But Denver don't have a bunch of draft picks to be able to put together to move up that high. They don't. They give a bunch of those away for Russell Wilson. They're still hurting from that Russell Wilson.
You'd rather have Zach Wilson than Russell Wilson, but we digress. Too bad, so sad. Sean Payton ain't gonna wait for crumbs to drop in his lap. Does he impress you with that kind of guy?
No, before Telesco, the last 5 drafts, I went back 5 drafts because that's how long our face of the franchise has been on the team, Max Crosby. This is what we're used to on draft day for the last 5 years. A lot of the 2020 draft, after Mick Robertson signed with the Lions, all those guys, John Simpson, I think, was with the Bills right now. But outside of a Mick Robertson and John Simpson, none of those guys are still in the league. Yeah, Alex Leatherwood, which I think was a John Gruden pick, he didn't last long.
Alabama boy.
Dylan Parham.
Hey, that's Peggy's favorite college team right there, Alabama. Like some Alabama boys.
Hey, ironically enough, we circled back around and corrected the faux pas from 2019. Now we got Christian Wilkins. That's the guy we were supposed to draft off of that defensive line that year.
Yes, correct. Because, but we go on and on about that. But keep going, because I've done that study that you said. We've done the scientific studies. 215 to 220 of the 52 picks, 30 aren't even in the league anymore.
Yeah. So now, well, I was gonna say now with
that's because we
Telesco,
did a whole lot of reaching. We weren't planning for the future and making picks that could pan out for future. We were making drastic. We need instant. We were listening. They were listening to the fans saying, "We need somebody now who could start now. We could put him in day one. And it's going to be a monster." And the problem is, all you did was reach. And when you reach, you're swinging for that home run. But what happens when you swing for home runs? Every once in a while, you're going to connect. But most of the time,
you've never been a GM before. You have 0, 1, 2 years of GM experience. Don't know nobody.
I got 3 weeks now. I got 3 weeks of GM experience.
Okay, so let's just go right in. Let's ask the big question that everyone keeps talking about. Are we drafting a quarterback on the first round, either at number 13, or are we trading up to try to get one of the guys that are tied to us, Jaden Daniels, Michael Penix, or Bo Nix? I don't know where Bo Nix came from, but apparently he's tied to us. So are we drafting any of these guys to be our next future franchise quarterback?
Where's my paper? My paper says, no matter what, not Michael Penix. And I'm pointing out the crystal ball, and the crystal ball says pass.
Pass. RaiderMan.
Pass.
I'm hoping no. I mean, because in my estimation, there's nobody worth. I mean, there's nobody worth drafting. I mean, trading up for outside of Caleb Williams or Jaden Daniels. The one caveat may be Drake May, but because he's so young, I'm not so quick to throw all my bones in on that guy. So I'll say no, based on the fact that we do have a real GM. And he's a patient guy, and there's way too much damn talent on that board. You know, I like to see us, if we're going to do a splash play, I'm not necessarily trying to be prophetic here or nothing, but if it happens, they expect me to be happy as shit. To see us talking about Latu right now, as much as we are, with Max Crosby advocating for the kid like that, that can change our defense. I mean, our defense is we already got D back into the Raiders, but the fact of the matter is that we've got an identity now. And all of those, like you guys are just speaking about with all those hashtag or hodgepodge draft picks, it's because we had no freaking identity. Why in the hell would you be out trying to make the fan base happy when you're supposed to be building an organization that's selling tickets?
But I don't think that that's changed. I still think that the fan base is just as hard advocating for a quarterback in the first round. And if the Raiders bend to that, then I would have seen no change.
Yeah, I'll be a little nauseous myself to see us cave, but I'm trusting to see professionalism played out. I'm in a couple of different text groups. My main group, I call it riding this roller coaster. I'm at Santa Cruz on that slow Tuesday. I got the all-day pass. Ain't nobody over here at the jet ski. I'm riding that bad boy with my hands up, and I'm jumping off and going right back to the front of the line, and I'm riding it again because I believe that this draft is going to be fun and full of bona fide talent that our team is going to grow from. You don't draft needs. You draft depth. You know, it's almost like, you a dysfunctional person in your life and you just need your life together. So I'm going to go out. I need me a wife. You just go out and just go marry somebody, because she got boobs and the booty that you like. You know what I mean? That's kind of what's been happening to us, and we got to fix that.
I feel attacked on that one.
But seriously, you said draft me, and on an ideal situation, it's true. If the Raiders have been drafting correctly for the last 10 years, then I'm all with you, RaiderMan. We draft depth, but we got holes still.
Okay, and speaking of holes, I go like this. I don't understand
the right side of my O-line. You talk about drafting a quarterback and you can't protect him.
Well, you want to get a left-handed quarterback who needs a right side, who needs the right side to be strong. And right now, we got nobody on the right side that we can. We got some possibilities and going. But you draft a Penix, you move up or do it at 13, left-handed quarterback, and then there's people we get later on in the draft. But you think a rookie's going to step in and be able to fix that right side of the line right away for a Penix to succeed? No, Penix is going to get flattened left and right. And then are we going to have that injury bug show up? Because I'm sorry, just because the last 2 years he didn't get hurt, do not erase the 4 years before that where it was season-ending injuries. 6 years, 4 injuries, that's injury prone in my book. And
haven't Raider fans become tired of always at least 1 or 2 guys in every draft the last 10 years were injured before they got to us? I mean, I'm thinking about the Oli Melanfawus and the Haydens of the world that had to have surgery before they took their first snap as a Raider. I mean, come on, man.
Well, I tell you this, to piggyback all of that, one factor that I didn't hear you guys bring up, and I know, Miss Peggy, this might be a little bit touchy for you. We don't have Josh Jacobs in that backfield anymore. So our offensive backfield is very much compromised in our passing protection game. And, I'm not knocking Zeus for not only, his potential growth going into the season, having a full year under his belt, getting some experience last year, but if we don't address the backfield, that's going to be just as detrimental as that right side of the line. Because the backfield that's the last line of defense for these young quarterbacks. If you don't have a tight end and a running back to protect your ass, you in deep shit. And I'm not willing to throw all my eggs in the basket, especially for Michael Penix, and especially people talking about gambling on this kid at number 13. I'm not really sure where all this panic is coming from, but I think, Miss Peggy, you touching that with all these fans and all the rest of this shit that everybody, they're trying to sell to this fan base. Build the damn team. Be smart. Go in there, pick the best available talent, and then build on that. Because we can fill these holes regardless if we trade back. I think in this draft of what we're holding, we can fill the holes that we need, and we have enough developed talent to be able to salve some of that shit and practice squad some guys to get through this season in a winning fashion. But if they want to win, if it's just win, baby, we'll see that.
Oh, by the way, when you're talking about build the team, we're talking from the trenches out.
Exactly.
The Raiders, please do it like championship teams do it. From the front four, from the O-line out. You do stop with this putting ornaments and you ain't got a Christmas tree.
Well, see,
and it's literally supposed to be from the middle out, starting with the center. And the fact that they re-signed Andre James, I'm not knocking the guy. I'm hoping he steps up to that plate. But, I do like the fact that we have a Dylan Parham behind him with the potential to take over at center. But I am curious to see what they do about truly solidifying our offensive line. Because regardless of what quarterback we have, people throwing shit in Aiden O'Connell's face. They already talking about little last boy and all the rest of the stuff that we got with Minshew Mania coming in. But if we don't have our offensive line together, all them dudes going to be shit. And ain't no rookie going to be able to save us.
Yeah, and that's the thing is if you don't have an offensive line, I don't care if Tom Brady comes down from Mark Davis's booth and tries to put on a uniform. If you don't have
that Tom Brady shit, la 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 la, I don't hear you. I'm not listening to Tom Brady.
If you don't have an offensive line, hey, that Tom Brady roll's gonna come back hard.
Hey man.
So
hey, you know what? Real quick. We kind of jumped the gun. I want to do my little quick shameless plug because my little star of the show is already over here on my damn lap. But I think it's a beautiful thing because young Zato came on the set with me, and I'm recording his little puppy moments as he grows. But I didn't even realize that I'm young 77. I forgot Asylum was rocking his 77. Right. And then DJ Turner going to be at the function. So we got our 19s and we got our 77s double activated in this show, man. We running strong. That's some pretty strong content shit right there.
It really is. But now can we go to our draft picks before I run out of time? I don't want to run out of time.
Okay. Oh no, hit him up, Peggy. It's on you.
Hi, man. Yeah.
Okay, you got it.
Yeah. Well, wait a minute. I must point out I had a team of co-GMs. There were 3 of us. And yes, in round 2, unbelievably, Penix was sitting there at 44, which goes to show what y'all are saying, that despite all the hoopla about Penix, a lot of people aren't high on him.
Yeah, it's lion season.
I mean, he was sitting there at 44. I voted down 2-1. I think we pick up a strong, tall receiver, 6'4", and Keon. I like Brownlee's potential, especially he's a mean one. He's a tackler. And he plays. He actually has a great zone game and a one-off game, and he was developing his press game last year, his one-on-one. So we might have a potential, lots of potential coming on the line. I don't know whether y'all like 2 linebackers in the 6 and 7. Maybe y'all were thinking earlier for linebacker. What do you think?
No, I like the linebacker in 6 and 7. I mean, it's not a dire need, but it's something that we could definitely get depth in and get into the later rounds. I'm all for that.
I don't think you push past linebacker that fast, Sav. And I like what you brought up in that point, Miss Peggy, because yes, we were able to band-aid our linebacker core for last year. Spillane did an excellent job. Divine Diablo stepped up. He did a lot of wonderful things. We had a few guys like Amari Burney, potential guys. But we have opportunity in this draft to get a baller. And to answer that, I would have, if it was up to me, I like what you did there going with Fuaga at number 1. You could take a flyer. You did Fuaga 1. Go ahead and take a flyer on Penix at 2. I think that's cool and that's strong. I love that you were able to get Keon Coleman at 3. That's a fucking big time pick. I would have done the same thing there, but at number 4, I would have been looking to see if Jeremiah Trotter Jr. is still available. Like a guy like that, because we can get us a thumper in the middle that can still range and get picks. He's a pick 6 guy, but he's pedigree. And I want one of those guys. There's a lot of pedigree guys in this draft, and I would like to see the Raiders take a shot at one of those guys. The top of my list is Jeremiah Trotter Jr.
I think you're right. It could have. I could have went for linebacker, but Keon was sitting there because I was going linebacker 3rd round.
But I like Keon Coleman, though. We fuck around and get Keon Coleman right there. That's strong. I mean, I would be curious because we don't see the board, but I would be curious to see if who did I say? Jesus, I lost the whole
Trotter?
I'm sorry.
I would be curious to see if Trotter would still be available 4th round. You know what I mean? Because we don't know by this board. We're not sure.
3rd round. They picked him before me.
Oh, they took him in 3rd?
They took him in 3rd round before me because I had my mouth all made up.
That's okay though. That's okay because there's still a few different linebackers in this draft. There's still I think his name is Blake Corum. I'm not sure where he went. That's the shit. There's a couple of guys that's out there linebacker. My favorite was Willis, but I think he'd be gone as early as 2nd round.
Isn't Corum a running back?
I mean, yeah, I said Blake Corum. I'm thinking about the I can't remember the guy's name. The linebacker. They got a good linebacker too. But regardless, my mind was set up on Jeremiah Trotter.
Let me see those other lists now because I want to see how we gonna match up.
We did ours a couple weeks ago where Raider Nation people that were in the chats were helping us with our draft. So this is the one that the Cage Match show did.
And we only did 4 rounds.
They only did 4 rounds because we didn't know how long it was going to be for a 2-hour show. But we got Fuaga on the 1st, and then we basically built the offensive line.
I love that.
We built the offensive line first in the first 2 rounds. And then we went to defense with Cam Hart and then Jalen Ford at linebacker. And then we said, okay, if we're gonna pick a quarterback, Asylum, he was high on this guy right here who was still available, Joe Milton. And then we just said, let's get a rushing in, Muhammad Kamara. So
we're doing
that's
good.
What we did.
I like it, especially picking up Cam Hart in the 3rd round. I felt bad because when I picked Fuagua, both Daniels and Arnold and Mitchell were still on the board. And I know people were staring. I could see that Raider stare. I know y'all was looking hard. You mean to tell me Mitchell was on the board and you passed on it? No, O-line.
No, we went O-line. I believe Arnold was gone, but Mitchell was still there. And we still went O-line because that's the biggest need. Like you said, the trenches. If the trenches ain't working, you ain't doing nothing. You got a quarterback on the run. Your running backs ain't getting nowhere because they're getting tackled behind the line of scrimmage. On defense, you're not getting pressure. a defensive line is going to help your cornerback. So you could have a non-great secondary if you have a good or great defensive line, because the defensive line getting all that pressure.
And I don't understand why people just don't pick up on what you just said. It all starts up front, especially on defense. You got a monster pass rush, man. Your guys sitting in the secondary, all they have to be concerned about is whether the quarterback went down or not. And if he does get the ball off, who's to say he's going to be accurate, right? Or
force him to throw early,
the right
or
guy
off balance or something like that.
There you go.
I'll tell you another key factor in that too, because it's just as true as that is for our line up front. I love what we've done with that front line so far. Not to say that we couldn't do better. Like a lot of people scared that they're going away from taking a Byron Young because we just got Christian Wilkins in the free agency. I don't believe that. I believe you strengthen however or wherever is best. So whether that's no matter who the hell it is. But I also like to think that when you, especially in today's NFL, defensive linemen, we took care of the defensive line structure by bringing back Big Butler and Jenkins and shit like that. So we got a little bit of beef. That's okay. I know what you said. We want to go more dynamic in there. I think we made a move with that with the Christian Wilkins pick. Free agency acquisition. I'm curious what you guys think. We're getting a dynamic, hard hitting, I call it Godzilla. You get you a Godzilla in the middle of your defense, a real middle linebacker, no knock on Spillane, but that dude should be on the flank, and then Diablo should be on the flank. Because if you got a linebacker, a big boy blitzing from the middle, that's like having a fifth defensive lineman, especially in blitz packages. Because you got your guy to stay up front, eat them double teams, especially you got a guy with good footwork and hands, you beating them double teams. He turns into like an Aaron Donald.
But with the lineup that we have right now, let's face it, an O-line already got their hands full with Crosby and Wilkins. Let's face it, they're going to have to put 3-on-2, 4-on-2 Booth. That leaves the other side of that line, the Butlers and Jenkins of the world, the Kuntz, right? Leaves them 1-on-1, maybe 0-on-1.
Raider Speedy. What's up with it?
But you're right about the addition of that
Speedy.
wild card. Look at it, that wild card. And coming from the middle, we will be unstoppable. I have confidence in Pierce. I think that's where he's going.
But
another thing I'm curious about, I don't really hear many people talking about it because we finally had a solid roster, and especially on defense, that everybody can get behind. But I'm curious to see just how beholden to some of our newest guys. Like all of us, I've heard most of us Raider fans really pushing for the Malcolm Coots growth and maturation. Everybody's excited to see with Tyree Wilson because we have to see us take up that much more, mortgage that much farm in the first round pick, and kind of go out on the injury bug like that. That was hard to swallow, but I can still understand it. But I would like to think that there's some pieces out there that some other teams covet and some moves that the Raiders are actually going to be able to make. Miss Peggy, you talked about this earlier on with Telesco having connections outside the building and throughout the NFL. A GM that actually knows what the fuck he's doing and coming in this bad boy with looking to establish his own reputation here with a fireball like Coach AP. Right there on his side, letting him know what he planned on cooking in this kitchen, and he let him know exactly what spices to put in his fucking cupboard. Because we about to have some delicious meals out there in Raider Nation, and I'm excited about this. The fact that I really have no idea what we're doing, but everything we do could be potential like hydrogen bomb reaction for our team. Whatever move they make can be literally a serious catalyst to putting this team over the hump and getting us into the playoffs. I truly believe that. And it's starting on defense. We ain't even did shit on offense yet.
And one of the things that I don't know if people remember or whatever, I don't know, think about this, but Telesco has been in the AFC West for the last 10 years, so he knows what it's like to go against the Chiefs twice a year. He knows what it's like to go against the Broncos, even though we took care of them 8 games in a row.
And how sorry they fucking ass is.
Yeah, so it's not some new guy coming out. It's not some new guy that's
who that quarterback Peggy?
Oh my God.
Wilson and Wilson. Oh, that sound like a fucking funeral home.
Wait a minute,
No, it's
backed up
Will
by.
Steno.
Wait a minute, that's
Wilson
what I said. Backed up by our old friend Stidham. I'm telling you, Sean Payton is not the kind of guy that's going to take crumbs from the table. It may look like he is, but he's not.
And if it wasn't for Lala Zato, I wouldn't like Denver at all.
Exactly. Well, no, we got Willie.
Willie
We
Brown.
got Willie Brown.
Willie Brown,
from,
too.
Denver.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Out of
that's
Cali.
right. That's right. Old man Willie.
Hey,
It's
and,
just so easy to hate them fuckers, man.
even Romanowski for a year and a half. I
Yeah,
hated him until he became a
Romo is
Raider.
a special case. I don't even really want to open this shit up because there's a few of them out there, but just for the sake of content, you know, I'm just trying to find something positive to say. We spend too much time complimenting their asses now. Shouts out, Romo. We do love you, man.
Yeah, but I mean, no one can get tired of reminding those donkeys that y'all are looking for your 13th starting quarterback since Peyton Manning left in 2016. So, I mean, like I said, it's really, my tear ducts are having trouble generating any moisture behind what's going on with them. But I assure you, he will be in the sweepstakes with us to move up if we decide to make that move.
Now, to me, I believe that whatever they do makes us stronger, especially considering the fact that they're right before us. Because I'm hoping that we don't get in no bidding war with them sons of bitches. We don't have no reason to panic. They ass fucking sorry. We looking to build here. So whatever move they make, you know, if that pick ain't on our big board, if that pick ain't one of our targets, that actually helps us. So, you know, like we understand what the dilemma is with quarterback. Well, I don't consider it a dilemma. I mean, you know, we got serviceable guys. No, it's not going to make anybody ooh and ah. But I love the projection of Aiden O'Connell after a full year getting his ass kicked and all that stuff. We know we got to get better at quarterback. But we're not winning this thing on quarterback in our division. No matter what we do, we're not going to have the best quarterback in our division this season. What we need to do is make the best defense to kick whoever think they ass the best in the freaking nuts and take this damn Super Bowl trophy because they can't mess with us. And we already got KC number. You beat his ass on defense and we can compete even if our quarterback only throw 12 passes a fucking game.
And this is just the thing that we have to keep thinking about is that defensive aspect because that makes it easier and less pressure on the offensive side of the ball. This is something Raider Nation never knew about. And I'm afraid Al kind of fed that appetite, right? Because he was always looking for the strong arm quarterback, right? The fastest receiver in the draft, even though he couldn't catch.
Well, let's not take that too far. Remember, we got touted defenses now. It just he had the luxury of taking the ball deep.
Look, all this love affair with the defense, as far as I'm concerned, as a person for 15 years has been advocating for a top D line. I'm just looking around and seeing this crowd gathering because none of them people was around. When I was talking about Wilkins, drafting Wilkins, even before that, all these people that we let go, these DTs that we desperately needed to help Mac, okay, on that end. And years went by. I didn't see anybody advocate.
They did that shit with what was that? The kid was it last year? Jalen Carter, and they went for the safe guy or whatever with Tyree. And I'm not against Tyree. I hyped it up because you know it's fun to go with 19s and shit like that. But I'm talking about real logistic football team building. And as a Raider fan, it's really, really disheartening for them to play off our emotion, to play off all the energy as if we don't really know what the fuck we talking about. We only this agitated because we actually watching this shit. We actually the ones that's paying for these fucking tickets. But they don't care about that. They want to sell us these fucking narratives. And then with all of that crap that was going on last year with Jalen Carter and the accident and all that stuff, they bringing up all the stuff from fucking Henry Ruggs and all. So it's too much. It's too much. All this shit, but I think that the crux of it is they're pandering to the internet audience. They're using the radio as a platform and they're doing their best to meld the two, but they're playing on the emotions of motherfuckers in the X-verse, if you will. And I don't think that's right because they didn't build Raider Nation. That's not a true indication of what the real Raider Nation is really hollering. I think that almost weakens us as a fan base, it's diluted. Which is why I really appreciate you guys keeping the Raider Oath out there and keeping my ass on because you know me, I'm about to lose my mind. I'm
All
tired
right,
of trying to
let's
kick
see
in the
some more
fucking door. I helped
drafts,
start
boys.
this shit.
I gotta go. Where's the draft? Let me see some more. RaiderMan, did you send in your draft picks? Who else's draft picks did you?
Nuh-uh. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
I'm riding yours.
Go ahead and do Demon Kings right now for Peggy.
Yes,
Okay, Demon
please.
King. He's not here, but this was Demon King's right here. He had Quinyon Mitchell, cornerback.
I can't. I'm not mad at him. I'm not mad at him because Mitchell was sitting right there when I picked Fuaga. Go ahead.
And then of course Michael Penix.
Oh my God! How did we both pick Penix in the second round? How did this happen?
Because I think you both were smoking the devil's lettuce.
I know.
Hey, he is the Demon King though. So
wait a minute. He picked BB just like you guys, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
And
And
then
oh my God, he picked up Maris just like me.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Are we channeling each other or what? What is going on?
Are the stars aligning?
And
I was trying to get Demon King on so we can have this debate. But this was
haven't responded. I'm still waiting. I'm checking.
Yeah, he did go for a wide receiver, RaiderMan, but not until the 7th round. He felt like
I thought you were strong taking a and pardon the expression, going balls out there with the Keon Coleman. Because that dude gonna transform an organization, and the thing that he can come up alongside of Devontae. Yeah, I know there's knocks on Devontae and shit like that, but if you want to draw some of that attention off of him, and you want to really open up our speed guy and give fucking Tucker something to do, you go get you a Keon Coleman and go kick some ass on that defensive backfield, and you don't have that issue. And then the fact you factor in the Jacoby Myers with that, man, we killing their ass. We can open up 5 wides.
I mean, Keon is legit across the middle. I'm just wondering if
it's true. It's true. It's true. Keon Coleman is a dog, man. And like I said, he shut me up because you already know what I feel about Jeremiah Trotter Jr. But if you could stick in a Keon Coleman right there, 3rd round, man. I mean, this talent is talent-laden wide receiver draft. You're not really gonna miss on many, but if you can handpick the puppy you want, that's some bad shit you got cooking.
Miss Peggy, is Keon Coleman, would he make that same impact like Jerry Porter did with Tim Brown and Jerry Rice? Would he make that same kind of impact as that 3rd receiver, that slot guy who got the hard yards in the middle?
And I don't even think he's a slot. I still think he's a wide, but it's that upper body strength that I saw, that I knew that he could start dragging folks across the middle. Because
Keon Coleman is dynamic wide receiver, dog. I'll say this, and there's no knock on Jerry Porter, but Jerry Porter was kind of an anomaly. Because when we took him out of, what was it, University of Virginia, he was really a DB. They didn't really even know where the hell to play him. But King Al's had a vision for him and just put him in that spot, and they couldn't do shit about it in Denver. He used to dog the shit out of the Broncos. But it was really about his ball tracking ability and his ability to mesh in the offense. Keon Coleman, in my opinion, is a dynamic receiver. He's one of the receivers that you put in the offense. He could be an X. When you put him at Y, he killing shit. But he can be an X.
I think there's that potential, and I saw it in the film with the way he was just dragging tacklers along with him. I'm like, wait a minute, is this a tight end? Which, by the way, is potential. But I'm just going to wait and see how we're going to develop that talent. Fellas, I really have to run. It's one of those crazy days.
I got one last.
Real quick, Peggy, before you go, I want to get your opinion on this. I really appreciate your thoughts. Has there been any running backs that you thought about that you would like to see brought in, not just to replace just Josh Jacobs? I don't think about it like that, but I think about it in terms of who do you project to be our next best, like to push Zeus for starting running back.
Corum.
You know what? Well, and people underestimate Madison as well, but we'll get back to that. But the problem for me is that the running back position has evolved and changed so much in the NFL in the last 5 years. You can tell the way the compensation is going, the way the longevity has shortened. I mean, people are not using running backs as running backs. The days of the Dorsets and the Eric
Dickerson.
Dickersons and the you know what I'm saying? The OJs. I was trying to avoid saying him, right?
God rest, right? R.I.P. Juice.
I mean, guys that were coming out blasting out of college, the Marcus Allens, I mean, who were just eating it up in college and just never stopped when they got to the pros. We don't see those kind of running backs no more. Why don't we see those kind of running backs no more, fellas? I don't understand.
Because the quarterback is not the running back.
I'm about to say they still exist. They using them different.
It's what Peggy said in the future. It's because the offensive lines do not know how to block anymore.
They have just lost the art that they don't feel like, well, now we got, our running quarterback. We don't need to put that much effort into blocking. But you see, that's my problem, RaiderMan, with answering your question, because the game has changed around the position of running back, and everybody can see it. Everybody can see it. Look at Derrick Henry. I mean, Tennessee should have been falling on their knees to re-sign him. They like, not. There's no value, no loyalty anymore in that position. It's because they're so expendable. People have other uses for them other than running.
So that goes exactly to my point. My point about it is, considering the fact that the running back by position, we see what the league is doing to diminish the value of these talents. So my mind's eye is, and it's almost kind of like in a fantasy football ilk in a sense. I'll be honest with that. But if you look at the team usage of these per se running backs, like you said, there might be in running back formation, but they're using wide receivers. They're using all kind of shit from the running back position. So the position in itself is screwed up for the athletes to get their money. But the position in itself ain't really being devalued. They actually using these guys like mules and then just not paying them. I think that's the problem.
And not only that, their longevity too is an issue. I mean,
yeah, but I mean, there's longevity with everybody. I mean, like even with no matter what position you play, football, an average true NFL lifespan is about 5 to 6 years. Everybody that goes longer than that, you're an anomaly. That's why these guys end up in the Hall of Fame and shit like that. But the point about it is, to them, them being the motherfuckers that own these guys, is just a business. I don't tend to get the too convoluted. So what I'm getting at is, think about like a guy like Trey Benson. I think he was also in Florida State, wasn't he, with Keon Coleman? But a running back like that, a potential, what you say, a 3-down back, a guy who could be a wide receiver with the hand talent that he has, but you're not paying all the money that you. Now, we got Alexander Madison at a pretty good discount because Minnesota didn't value him. However, we would have this rookie locked up on a rookie contract that we can develop our talent for our scheme. And I think we can come out dynamic if we pick the right guy. Like, we don't have to go into just willy-nilly trying to grab, like you say, there's no O.J. Simpson out there or whatever. That time is gone with that type of running back.
Those guys, man, what happened? Did the offensive schemes change?
They changed. They changed the game.
They are not even coming out of college. And they have plenty of opportunity in college.
They barely even developing offensive linemen now. The game is diluted because of what they're doing to the game. The business is diluting the game. It's not your fault. You're a great fan and you're paying attention. So like when you see a kid go out of date, if you will, you got these talents that we grew up watching, the Art Shells and shit like that, and you see these guys come out of BF nowhere, but you see the talent. Coach King Al saw talent. Now these guys are trying to prove that what they call them gurus and geniuses. Everybody too smart for their own fucking good, and there's too many chiefs in the kitchen. Too many chiefs, not enough Indians, and everybody is just business. They just selling shit to us fans. Raider Nation is different. You know what I mean?
Well, before you go, Peggy, I just have a question. What do you have a particular player in mind that you hope they draft, or a position? And if they go otherwise, or is there a position if the Raiders draft, or a player if the Raiders draft would make you make this face right? Where'd it go?
Where's
Right
that
here.
face? Where's that face? Yeah. If they draft a quarterback in the first round, that's the face you'll see on me.
You heard it, Raider Nation. You heard it, Raider Nation.
Wait. I got a quick caveat, Miss Peggy. So that's if they draft a quarterback in the first round, no matter what the scenario.
Doesn't happen. I'm not going to be happy because I know I'm going to be broke and feeding my children oodles and noodles for the winter. All the draft picks and maybe even players I would have to give up to get that high pick.
No, I know. Okay, so what I'm saying is, like, say for instance, Asylum threw out the potential because we can only use it allegedly, but the potential of trading back. So say if we traded back in the first round and you pick up multiple picks and then you take a flyer, which is basically all you're doing on any of these other quarterbacks, but they take a flyer on the guys. Okay, Raider Nation, here's your fucking quarterback, pick him apart.
Well, then you right after my heart, RaiderMan.
I did that just for content's sake. It's just conversation. Because of course it wouldn't make any sense. But you know what I mean? That is a scenario that, like, if you was to pick up, like, somebody got desperate and they wanted 13 and Telesco actually had somebody bent over the barrel. And we pick up they first and they throw in and say like a second and a third because they really trying to beat some team to some jackass we don't even want. And we end up taking a flyer and take that deal, and then just feeling good about what we did. We take a flyer on some damn quarterback. That would still piss you off?
So, no. If we had 2 picks in the first,
say lock him up right now, right, Asylum?
That's my blood brother. That's my blood brother. But haven't gotten overruled on my draft. On my mock draft, they done made me tender now, right? They done tenderized me for the second pick to possibly be a quarterback. Well, fellas, I just have to run. People are waiting out there for me. They keep hitting me with the text messages because they know I'm supposed to be on at 9, but I love it. It's the high and the vibes and the energy and the information. I love it. And I wish I could come out to Kern County Fairground so I could hear Raider Savage.
Oh, yeah. Where's my echo?
Yes, indeed. I cannot wait. And y'all, don't forget to extend your invitation to your favorite guy that you want on the stage with you. All right. I'll talk to you soon.
Thank you, Miss Peggy.
See you, Miss Peggy. God bless you, Queen. Hey, just so you guys know, I'm not too far behind myself. I'm really booked up on some stuff I gotta do. I wanted to make sure I popped in for this first hour and get some heat, cause I got some things I gotta go take care of my damn self.
I'm gonna pop in onto that question you asked Peggy and shit. No, I mean, I'm sorry. Any of those other quarterbacks after those top ones go, they're second round quarterbacks. Even if you move back, you can still get an offensive lineman. You can still get a cornerback or some shit like that. If you're dropping, even if you drop back to get those extra picks, which are nice, hopefully somebody takes 13 and reaches and takes panics out of our fucking hands so we don't have to deal with that shit. But I mean, even if you drop back into the 20s, there's going to be quarterbacks in the second round if you need to go that far. There's too much needs on the offensive line. Even running back, like you said, you asked running backs. I like Corum.
Yeah.
I like Corum.
I said Blake Corum because he was already stuck in my mind. I like Corum and Estime. Those are my 2 running backs. I like Trey Benson. He's undeniable. I actually love Brooks, too. I don't think he's going to be that bad coming off them injuries.
I think there's so many other positions that, and we don't need a quarterback that fucking bad that we got to, we don't need a mortgage to go for a Daniels as much as everybody hopes. We have enough talent on the team at that position that if you do get a quarterback, you're looking for that third string quarterback, that guy that can sit and develop over a few years. That's an emergency quarterback if your other 2 go down, because anybody else you take, especially in the first round, even if you don't start him, even if you say, okay, he's going to sit, all you're going to hear out of Raider Nation, and I'm fucking not even lying on this, all you're going to hear after the first quarter, when one of those have bad play, is we need to put him in, somebody with absolutely no starting experience in the NFL. We need to put him in because he's going to fucking be the answer. And we all know that ain't the fucking truth.
It's gonna bring back the old school. He be out there cheering, Tui.
That happened in. I remember that. That also happened when we drafted Jamarcus Russell in 2007, and we had the quarterbacks was one of the McCown brothers.
We had Josh McCown.
Josh McCown, and then we also brought in midseason. He was from Minnesota, and then he went to the Dolphins. Cole Pepper. We had Culpepper, and he didn't do all that great. And I remember when Jamarcus Russell finally signed his contract, because we all remember he held out for more money and his bonus. The whole stadium was chanting for Jamarcus Russell, and they wanted to put him in like the last.
Not the whole stadium. Not the whole stadium.
Well, okay, well, not you, but I'm saying it's the whole stadium. They were cheering Russell. And we saw that didn't work out because he was a starter the next year, and Tom Cable had to keep benching him for Gradkowski because he couldn't get past the first half without throwing 2 interceptions and 1 for a touchdown. So
the dude wasn't studying. That shit got chronicled, and it's really unfortunate for him that he didn't get put in a position to take advantage of what he really had. He wasn't ready to be a first-round pick. It doesn't matter that King took him there. You know, the onus can't really be dropped on the kid that's not ready to be thrown in that position. He sucks. He's going to eat that shit for the rest of his life. But the fact of the matter is, he should have never been put in that position in the first place. And the fact that they saw indications of him not like actually studying playbook, you know, they even got an example of him with the CD, or here, take this DVD home and watch it and tell us what you think about the first 7 plays, all that shit. You know, regardless of how much of that is smoke versus fire, the fact of the matter is that the talent shouldn't be held accountable for upper level management mistakes. And that's a big bill of goods that we all ate like a big pile of shit. And we had a bunch of them. I mean, you know, what about, well, we had even unfortunate situation. Let's go off of the bus and talk about like dramatics, like Patrick Bates or Leon Bender. You know what I mean? Guys, it's so many different levels to the true dilemma of what's ailed the Raiders over these decades. What I'm really looking forward to is facing into this future, facing the fire and dealing with everything that we've come through, realizing that we're under the best possible management now. We actually have an identity with our team. I wish the media, I'll say it that way, and particularly like the Raider Nation radio thing or whatever. I don't even want to go into attacking people and shit, but I wish that there was more authenticity dedicated to us Raider fans. I wish that Raider fans was actually a real part of it, not just being exploited as, you know, on air, you know, free on air personalities and shit like that. There should be a real.
That's why we do this shit here. Is we're trying to give real Raider fans.
We need to get this shit picked up. That's where I'm going. You need to pick up the real Raider fans and tap into what created this whole mosh pit of brand new Raider fandom, because the identity of the Raiders is back now. The organization has been rebranded, and the false narratives and the lukewarm kind of Raider Nation thing that they're doing don't justify, you know, like where the team really is. You know, it's a soft sell, and I think Vegas deserves better.
Yeah. The whole Raider Nation radio, it's just hard to be a real Raider fan on that because it's I don't want to say it's broadcast by the Raider organization, but it's a lot of guys who are company guys. And it's like, well, this is your platform to talk about it. Okay, I want to talk about this. Oh, we can't talk about that because that goes against the organization. That goes against the establishment. We can't talk about that. It was never like that. We don't really have a real, I guess, a platform for Raider fans to actually vent, because we do know what's going on. We watch the games, like you said, Raider Man. So some of us, we watch the games. Some of us who are fortunate to be out there in Vegas, we pay for the games. We expect a product because this team at one point had the best record percentage wise throughout the NFL. They were the team of the decades. This is a storied franchise, and we want to get back to that. And you have all these radio heads or personalities on TV who tell us what we think, or tell us how to think. And even some of the people on these podcasts here in this show,
you got some people who forgot where they came from. We won't say no names, but they forgot where they came from. If it wasn't for us fans, they wouldn't be who they are now.
Say the name. That's how you get the clicks. If you don't say the name, you don't get the clicks. Fucking go there.
Okay. We'll say the name JT the Brick. You know, if it wasn't for us Raiders, if it wasn't for the black hole, who would he be?
Be a regular guy from the East Coast.
I'll say this, and you guys brought this up the last time we were on. I appreciate the opportunity to talk on it. I do my best to watch my mouth with how I deal with it, only because it's almost like the way I look at it is we as Raider fans are being forced into this corner where we are airing our family dirty laundry before strangers. And it's like all these people who not even real Raider fans, they had nothing to do with building Raider Nation, the black hole, anything. And we can touch a lot of names in that, maybe to a certain degree, even the name that you named, but there's no reverence for what created all of these positions for these people. And they're living all these great lives. They get on the air and they brag about. That's the thing that I don't like about that individual that you mentioned, is because it's almost like you're admitting that you're just exploiting us. And for me, for somebody that I try to listen to the show as much as I can. I used to participate a lot more. I haven't probably in the last, month. Since when Coach AP got hired, I came in and did a Raider Oath. There was a big push. You guys were at the spearhead of it. Push for Raider Man to come do the Raider Oath at the torch. There's no support for it. There's no support for it for the black hole. There's no support for it, out there that could be. And it's really, really easy thing to do. So basically what you're telling me as an individual is that I'm not worth it. Raider Man has no value to Raider Nation Radio. You know what I mean? It's like Raider Man has no value to an individual like a JT the Brick who gets on the air and brags about all these different things that was going on 25, 26 years ago. Well, who was there making the noise for you? That was me going to them Raider rallies. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you know what I'm saying? This is where we met. And you got people that busting their ass to come and support you, but you do nothing to give back. You just take. And then you got the nerve to ostracize people and talk down on people like we a bunch of fucking Oompa Loompas. You know what I'm saying? This ain't Wonka. That shit is too much. And for me, it's like it's killing a once great civilization. And it doesn't have to be that way. Whoever those higher powers are, they've seen what I can do in Vegas. But your friend Raider Man don't get the calls. I've heard him. I got people that call me because he on air bragging about all these people that he calls. Oh, I know all the top people in Raider Nation and all the people in the black hole, and I call my friends. That dude don't never call me for any reason. And the reason why I stopped calling is because I called and left him a message to ask him for a return call to address some of the things I need to talk about, because that's what friends do. And, I guess he's shining me. I'm not really sure what that's about. I don't want to speak for that individual. Maybe y'all can get him on your platform and have him talk about, what Raider fans really think. Because, nobody calls the individual on the carpet. People just go along with it. And I understand you guys' perspective, because I got a lot of friends. I call them friends now. I've met callers that people reach out to me on a personal, and you build relationships. And I've got years in talking to people who really spill their guts and really share their lives. I got friends that's died, that really, really close relationships that's being built from the callers. And most of these people don't even call the show anymore because they don't feel like they're a part of it. They don't feel like as a Raider fan, they even have a voice. And they're like, how come you don't have a show, Raider Man? You should have the #1 show. You should be doing the morning show. They should at least put you on at night. Well, I've approached these people since the inception of this show. I've been as far as to personally send an email to Mike Taylor. And it's not like none of these people know who I am, starting with Mr. JT the Brick. But, you get the shined on. You got people that I guess they feel like they control my future. If they don't give me an opportunity, I won't have an opportunity. All they doing is just killing a prime asset to the brand. Because I'm never gonna stop being Raider Man. I was Raider Man when they met me. I'm gonna be Raider Man when they die. You know what I'm saying? But to not appreciate where you come from, as you put it, Sav, that's the most disappointing part of it, because that's what made the black hole what the black hole is. How can you sell something that don't even belong to you? You know, that's what I was saying. That's so disappointing to me. That's so American. And it's time for that kind of bullshit to die. And if Raider Nation will really be like tuck their tail and duck to some bullshit like that, this brand would be dead in 5 years.
You always have a voice on this platform, and anybody else. Oh, so go ahead, Sam.
Well, let's say I think that's what the NFL kind of wants. They want to kind of tone down the Raider
Yep.
Nation. All
And
that
you got
wildness,
people like that selling us out.
All that wildness you guys did at the Oakland Coliseum, walking in off the BART train, coming over the catwalk, all you smell is weed in the air, and a bunch of people walking around with the bottles all out there, drinking beer and liquor and all that, whatever. We don't need that over here in Vegas.
No, but they do. And they actually want that. They just want to be able to control it. It's just like the people in the circus. They want the lions. They want the tigers. They want the bears. But they got to do the operation to take their fucking sharp teeth out first. They got to teach them the tricks and poke them with the electric sticks and make sure they jumping through the hoops just the way they tell them to. Otherwise, they don't get an opportunity to perform in their circus. They'll put your ass down. They take you out in the back and they shoot you in the fucking head. Because they can't put you back in the wild. You'll die out there.
Yeah.
I'm just saying it's a complete sellout. And the fact that the people, now you got to take your stands in this personal project in this platform. But all they got to do is turn a deaf ear to it. This is the kind of shit that's got to get into their space. So like, say, for instance, Sam, you somebody that spent your time endeavoring to listen and give ratings and participate in their show. They milked us for all the sympathy there was with Black Hole Rob's passing and all the history that I knew to come and instill all this Raider Nation spirit and all the Black Hole. And they just used all that shit. And now, and especially the person that you mentioned, this motherfucker known me since, 98? When I first did the Raider Oath for TV at Ricky's, you'll get on and you'll use me and exploit the storytelling that I have from the history that I can share to impart on your new radio audience. But I'm not worth coming and being a part of the project when as your friend that I'm going through some of the most hellish shit in my life. So the real black hole, the brothers and the sisters and all the love and, all the spirituality, the, hey, God bless you, all that shit used to be real. Now you just got people that all they got to do is just say the right shit. They making up brand new callers. They out there like on the phone, hey, I need you to call and all the rest of this kind of shit and trying to make it sound like, gee, this is the way it's been going. Like we'll roll right over you. And they talking this shit to Raider Nation. They telling us this shit to our face. So I'm saying, me, I do my best trying not to be absolute revolutionary, but I went to the fucking Raider Nation explosion 3 years ago, 2 years ago, however long ago it was, and said this very thing. Our brand is being fucking appropriated. This shit is being taken from us. And it's because not only is our First Amendment right being compromised by this media platform, but we are growing in apathy, and particularly from us as men. Because the men used to be the one that stood up and say, fuck that, I'm angry, I'm not taking this shit no more. What happens now is we just abstain. I'll just turn you off. I'll just make my own. Well, that shit is still going to be there. So even though they're not giving us any support, we're supporting their shit every single day without a voice. I think every single person in Raider Nation need to consider that. Not just the men. I know I made an example of us, but I tend to do that. That's just the way I believe that God called it. If you're supposed to have a voice, you're supposed to be first. What does that mean? If you're going to be angry about something and do nothing, what does that mean? But considering the fact that we come from somewhere, if somebody stopped giving reverence to your grandfather and you out there trying to, man, my granddad, shit, just to say that, you out of yeah, thank you, sir. Hey, whatever. I'm just going to respect you on the GP because you're my friend's people. Raider Nation is being absolutely stripped of that. That enzyme is holding on by a thread in Raider Nation right now, and nobody is speaking on it because everybody is only thinking, I'll do my own.
Yeah.
That's what's killing us.
Yeah.
We got to take over. This shit's supposed to be us, then you got to deal with us.
Yeah.
I did my best to push and pull and all that shit, but all of a sudden, RaiderMan's a nuisance. For everything that's good, I had that same individual. Don't even address where I'm from. It ain't RaiderMan from Richmond. Not like I'm not putting together a podcast with my name in it. Shameless plug. And thanks for everybody that's been tapping in lately and following on RaiderMan19.com. I really can use your patronage because, I mean, it's not only just going and buying the merch and getting the Raider Oath t-shirts, but it's about standing for the brand. My brother, man, Levi Schmidt out there, man, Raider Baron, he out there holding it down for the Raider Oath. And people I'm talking about the people that represent the black hole don't even hold down the Raider Oath. But the Raider Oath is what put them people in the position that they are. So, you know what I'm saying? We can appreciate what you guys do because you're holding it down. But if we don't put no energy on it, we don't put no fire behind it, you don't light the fuse, the fireworks don't pop.
And that's why. Are you going to the Bakersfield event?
I heard you kind of mention it, and I was dancing around the mulberry bush with you because you didn't throw it out there. I'll show up for you just on GP. I'm honored the fact that you were giving me space and you want me there. So on that, I consider myself get there. Hella high water. Stuff just been tough for me. I know we out there in America right now, but I'm just saying plain. Things have been tough for RaiderMan. Life on life terms, what my daddy called it. And these last couple of years since the Raiders have left, my family has endured like personal death tragedies. We've endeavored like weather issues with my roof falling in on my fucking house and water damages on the inside and just all kind of shit. You know what I mean? And it's just a lot of different things. I've been to school, earned my degree with honors, worked in my job, and then got fired from the motherfucker. And they call it at will. Last like 10, 11 months, basically a year. RaiderMan ain't even fucking employed while I'm selling the Raiders and Raider Nation in the black hole to Vegas for the black hole, motherfucker that don't even call me back. And all I need is an opportunity. Because I could be doing all the shit that they doing, but on 110, 119 times better scale because Raider Nation know RaiderMan. But I'm not worth it. I don't have value to Mr. Brick. Because Mr. Brick got my phone number just like I got his phone number.
You got value to us, and that's why every show is started off with the Raider Road.
I appreciate you guys, man. Because this is what we live. This is what we do. But then you got somebody that came over. I remember the day Rob he called me on the phone and like, man, RaiderMan, I need you to back this guy, man. Everybody not going to be down with this. Some people going to think we selling out and all this. I came on board and I backed everything. And after 27 years of dedicating myself to a brand, my brother who created the brand and created opportunity for me to do what I do has died. And now you got people that had nothing to do with that shit. Phone calls, shake hand conversations, introduced to somebody that didn't even want to be in the environment that they was in, nervous and all the rest of that kind of shit. But, it's just like, yeah, I feel you, Raider Homer. That's my dog right there, Raider Homer. Man, my wife say, what's up, dog? QB1 say, what's up? We've been thinking about you, brother. And appreciate you, Homer. I appreciate that. Homer know my plight. We've had talks at extensive levels. You know what I mean? Sav, you was there. Shit, that's the night we know. Shit, I met Homer that night.
Yeah.
But the whole thing about it is, like Homer said, know your worth.
Hey, that was like 3 years almost to the day, or it was right at the draft, first round draft. Yeah,
out there at the Rio.
Yeah,
I love you too, brother. Love you too, man. Best of the queen and the family out there. We got to get together, man. But it's like, why would the same people that's selling us Raider Nation now? They have always say, for instance, the same individual, the stockbroker, or whatever the fuck he did. He grew up on never do something for free that you can get paid to do. And he been fleecing us fan base since the moment that he got the deal. Okay, he created on an opportunity with the show. I don't want to take nothing, no accolades from people. I ain't no hater. But you got given a show. Somebody gave you an opportunity, gave you a platform. You get into the organization, people gave you time, they gave you their support, they backed you, they walked you into the heart of the most notorious fans and all that shit, somewhere that you was terrified to go by yourself. They put you with the motherfucker that made you no longer terrified to do anything. And now you just some fucking conqueror. You fucking Christopher Columbus now? What the fuck? You know, but you got no room for the people that put you on. And the person I think about the most is what I call my OG, my mentor, Raider Rob. Because if it wasn't for him recruiting me to call the radio station and hey, you know, they got this doing this Raider rally thing. You know, if you can get down to Jack London Square, I'm from fucking Richmond. Why are we hanging out in Oakland? I'm coming there to support somebody I don't even know. Been doing this shit for over a quarter of a century. My kid's over 10 years older than his kids. I got 2 sons and a daughter. I got a granddaughter. You know what I'm saying? It's like my life has no value while you on the air bragging about your stock portfolios and how much money you got and, oh, I used to fleece this and all these people don't know what the fuck they talking about. Look how they did you and all that shit. That's like pimp shit. You know what I'm saying? Hey, little girl, what you doing all the way over here in Vegas by yourself? You need a ride? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I just hard to get down like that where I come from that environment and motherfuckers trained to know better. I'm trained to be on the other side of those kind of transactions. But I've been holding myself out for Black Hole and Raider Nation for over a fucking quarter of a century, and I'm not even acknowledged on fucking radio. They pumping up other motherfuckers' names. Because I don't jump through the fucking hoop when they crack the whip. You know what I'm saying? It's time to grow out of this bullshit, man. It's time for the fucking real Raider Nation to stand the fuck up. I put a post out saying that shit, and my shit got ripped from fucking the platform in less than 2 minutes. Shit wasn't even posted yet. They red flagged me. I didn't use no profanity, nothing.
But see, and that's what we're trying to do here. We try to put, like original, back in Oakland, original Oakland Coliseum, people who not just use this Raider Nation thing for their own personal gain. I mean, when I started doing my character, like I shot up like real quick, but I'm like, okay, I got a platform, but I'm not here because of myself. I'm here because Asylum helped me out. I'm here because, people like you, RaiderMan, who would like hype me up. So now I got to hype, bring you in, try to stay alive, try to keep you and your image and your spirit alive within Raider Nation. That's why we played it Oath every single. That's kind of like our national anthem, or like in school when you do the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge of Allegiance.
You make sure you do that first before you play the game, that you show love to where you're at. And that's what we try to do. We try to put people who understand the real love, who understand like this is not just, we're not just football fans, watching this, like this is our lives.
This is right.
I want to take a.
Raider Nation does this 365. I mean, we do this every day. This is not just once the season goes, we're fans. No, we do this. I mean, look, we're wearing our Raider shit all the fucking time. This is a lifestyle, not a fandom when it comes to real Raider Nation. And I'm not knocking anybody who's just coming in, because a lot of them are learning what real Raider Nation is. The problem is you got a lot of the Vegas shit right now who don't know what it was like to be in Oakland, to be in LA.
Culture clash. It's a culture clash.
They don't know what we've done, what we go through, what we've gone through. And like you said, I mean, yeah, I helped you out. I put my shit aside. I was in the middle of my rise, whatever you want to do. When I started the Asylum shit and you started your shit and asked for the help, I put my shit to the side and helped you in a heartbeat. And people don't do that anymore. It's all about.
I want to take it up a step farther than that, because not even being blood, you making those sacrifices. And that's what real Raider Nation, that's what real Black Hole has always done. But based on my longevity and based off of how much I know, I'm going to be cautious in how I say this. So respectfully, I'm going to say this. There's literal family dynamic involved in what Black Hole really is. There's true family dynamic that's truly involved in what real Raider Nation is. And I can say this, for Sav, it wasn't easy to get out and go and venture his own persona, because him being one of the babies of the Black Hole, he didn't grow up with a persona. His persona was, he's Sal's son. That's little Sal. You know what I mean? So it wasn't about all of this, hey, this Raider Nation is a bunch of grown-ass people in fucking costumes dancing around. It was never about that. And I'm not saying that to take stabs at any of our established, leaders of what's become Raider Nation. You know what I mean? But it's like that wasn't what Raider Nation was about. It never has been. Can't say it never will be because it happens to be that right now because the powers that be is what they're provocating. And this call goes out to those individuals, and you all know who you are. If you're not speaking up on the true origin of the black hole, if you're not protecting, the young inspiration, the next generation of Raider Nation is what I call it. So before it get out there and somebody else steal that, everybody know where that shit come from. There was something I got pulled into an X. I think you call it, I don't even like saying the names because these motherfuckers change their names every 5 years for rebranding. But, it's like, they're who actually started the Raider chant and where did this shit come from? That shit is embarrassing for me because I can speak on that. I know where the shit came from because I did it. I did it on purpose. These were fucking conversations. We needed something. And the things that we did happened to work. I've never been in no fucking position to be like, oh, well, look at what I done and oh, this and this and this and this. But now this is what this model is based on. But none of the people who actually built the model ever acted like that. So now we all just out. We all out on our ass. It makes Savage look weird. Oh, now all of a sudden he got a persona and this all the rest of this shit. That's you speaking their language now. That's how they talk. You know what I mean? It's just what we do. And why can't I have a fucking persona? Why can't I grow? Why can't I create my own brand? Why can't I do something like the rest of these motherfuckers is doing when I've been doing it from the beginning? I want to learn how to do it too. But there's a block on that. It's like gatekeepers. And I've actually heard that term used by the people that didn't even create this shit. I'm the gatekeeper of what you get to do. Like, so, oh, you lucky you got a radio platform. You wouldn't have shit without me. I would never talk to my wife like that. I would never talk to no female like that. You can't do better. You'll never have nothing without me. This is what you're selling Raider Nation, the motherfucker that created a platform for you to have money and have your job and access to the team and all this shit. And you get to walk around in all our colors and tell us about your caller. And we want to tell you about your team. And we don't even get a chance to root for who the fuck we want to root for. We don't get a chance to talk about who we want to select in the draft and none of that shit. Because they shoving all these dumbass names down our throat because they want to be the ultimate insider. Ooh, I got the information first. Didn't I tell you? Didn't I tell you? Like, what the fuck is going on? But the problem is Raider Nation's accepting that shit. Not everybody, obviously, because we wouldn't be here today. However, until we get a movement, it's just a bunch of mumbo jumbo. Raider Homer took a few shots. God bless you, brother. I'm saying it. And that shit ain't supposed to be like that. I don't even know everything, but I know enough to know fuck that. It's time for Raider Nation to get back to supporting each other. It's time for the real black hole to fucking stand up. And it's time for somebody to speak on it because as long as everybody just keep going along with this bullshit, I'm telling you, they taking our shit from us. Raider Nation don't really belong to Raider Nation no more. You can have all the spirit you want to.
I think the real
Lord
black
forbid Miss Peggy wake up on a day 5 years from now and be hollering Raider Nation and shit and people walking around like damn zombies. Don't even know what the fuck she said. It become a forbidden language. It become taboo because they, whoever the fuck they are, came in and appropriated our shit. And everybody wanted to be famous so fucking bad. Everybody wanted to be the next motherfucking fan in a costume to be supreme and on stage and all that shit. When the whole objective was to get to the game, make noise together, and have a fucking family reunion. TV didn't mean shit to us.
Yeah, and I miss that element of the Oakland Coliseum. I would go. I mean, if I can't afford to go into the game, I would just want to go to tailgate to see everyone I would see on Sundays. It's like it was church. It was church.
Exactly. That's what
I drive past the Coliseum now, and I'm like, that was my church on Sundays. That was my church on Sundays. Whether I'm driving there, taking Bart there, across the catwalk, or whatever it is, I would just happen to be there. Even now, I want to try to go to some A's games just to still step into that Coliseum and feel the old ghosts or the old memories and feelings that I had when I was a kid. When they first came back in '95, I was 10 years old, and I grew up. I grew up in this. I grew up in the black hole. My dad played band, first live band, in the parking lot at Lot D before they moved. No, the low down before they moved. They tried to move the the black hotel get to the middle of that island when we were right there, right by the players' parking lot.
Yeah, they started
So-
manipulating our ass early. They did their best to try to get us under control. They even sicked Amy Trask on us. That shit was painful because we thought she was on our side.
So yeah, so you know that's
She was on
why.
our side. She was. She had no choice in shit.
That's what I'm saying. Everybody had to do their job. I just never understand why we getting fucked with. You know, King Al gave us permission to do our thing. You know, it was a big convoluted mess. None of it particularly makes any sense. But the hurtful part is, after all this time, they know who we are and they still don't want us. They only want what we produce. They want our energy. They want our noise. They want our money. But we don't hold value. That's what breaks Raider Man's heart. Now, call me presumptuous because I feel like if Raider Man was in the position of what I call it, where I'm supposed to be, I was honed for this position. I was trained for this position. All the different shit that I've done in Raider Nation, I have so much like memorabilia and signed autograph shit. I got nothing. I barely even got pictures of motherfuckers. Most of the pictures I got was shit that was sent to me. Shout out to Candy Padilla and you know, Tony Gonzalez and Lita Flea and you know what I'm saying? It was a bunch of people that was out there. Transistor. You know what I'm saying? Man, it was so, man, little Dougie, man, Schultz. Man, it was so many people that truly made Raider Nation, you know, what it is today. And everybody that's propagating Raider Nation is doing this as if Raider Art, yep, that's Candy Padilla, that's Raider Art's mom. You know, shouts out to my dog Raider Art. You know, he put me back in touch with Rob and them, you know, and man, there's layers to this. And I feel like I'm almost called to, you know, shouts out to Rob. I ain't trying to copy him. I done ran this by him, but I done had so many people ask me about writing a book and all this kind of stuff. I got people wanting me to write a book on just my personal life. People only really know Raider Man because that's what the world kind of got introduced to. But, you know what I'm saying? As an individual, you know, the person that I am is a pretty dynamic son bitch. I'm not saying that to pull my own coattails. I'm saying because God has allowed me to see so much life experience in such a short amount of time that the people who are overly sensationalizing themselves to get the attention put on them don't truly deserve that spectacle because of the people that truly grew through the space that they had to in life to create that platform. I just think it's wrong to throw all that away. The fact that a person like JT the Brick can like have everybody back his show because damn, this man went to Raider Man ICU room, man, he saw Raider, and then you know you get on the radio and when I call in and I'm telling this story and you can look at your buddy, see, I saw Raider Man all screwed up and all the rest of that kind of shit. But Raider Man ain't somebody you waste your time on. You don't give a fuck how Raider Man doing. Hey Raider Man, how's the family? Hey Raider Man, you know what's going on? Remember that time Raider Man back in the, you know what I'm saying? I'm not on that list. Well, whoever these special friends or whatever that he calling and all the rest of that kind of shit. I can't claim that. But Raider Man ain't the type of motherfucker to be chasing people around and kissing their ass like that either. And he didn't meet me like that. And that's not how he gonna lose my friendship. You know, for me, I know who I am. I've done what I've done. All my shit is in receipts. It's all, you know, it's there. So that's between me and God. Because for me to be trying to chase some so-called fucking position with these people, that to me is Bible dictionary definition of vanity. And it's unnecessary. If you don't appreciate what we brought to you, you don't appreciate, like, okay, well, all of a sudden you kissing gorilla ass. You can parade a dude in some fucking gorilla suit. Sorry, gorilla, but you can do all that and that's okay. But the people who are paying the money and actually created this, to have faces, to have names, to have families that can use opportunities, they're not worth it because they're not valuable to you. You can't sell them. You know, you lay a violator in, you know, so you trickling them in. And me and Violator, we had these talks.
We don't fit the narrative. That's what it is.
Well, we don't fit their stereotype. They can't sell us like zoo animals if they personalize us. I was told when they started creating that Raider bobblehead mascot thing or whatever, the little Sonic the Hedgehog Raider head thing that they got running around trying to be the Raider mascot.
Yeah.
They told me that I couldn't be the mascot
Raider Rush.
because I'm an actual person.
Yeah.
I said, but I'm fucking Raider Man. You know, there's no place to put the Raider oath, so maybe I can't be the Raider fucking mascot, but Raider Man exists. You see what I'm saying? But you still supposed to say, oh yeah, one of these days you better tell your kids that you called into my show for 30 years and got nothing out of it. Come on, man. I got a life to get together. When Rob called me and asked me to go to fucking Vegas, when he called me and asked me to come out there and come do the E60 profile, do the Raider oath that I wrote, the Raider oath that's copyrighted by me, you know, they play Stoner Dude, the guy who produced the fucking Raider oath, they play his latest production on the show every day to close the show. They just made that song a couple years ago, but you got the Raider oath for 25 plus years and you refuse to play it. Barely, even if I was to call in, I barely get enough time to say it, which is a lot of times I just get bullish and just say it so so the world can get it. But you'll use it when it's beneficial for you. So if you live on location and I get on the oath and I get on the Raider oath and get everybody in your place going crazy, oh, that's how it was back at the Raider rallies. Oh yeah, that's how it is. But then when it's not that, you're trying to sell people how you got the Raider fans going and you the king of Raider Nation. If it wasn't for me, Raider Nation wouldn't be shit, right? That's who he's become, and I don't understand where that comes from. Is that how you treat the respect? That's how you respect the memory of your dead partner who you claim is your so-called best friend?
See, and that's the part where it's like they're trying to erase the history. Now, me personally, I'm just trying to bring in the history of, talk about the guys from the past, the Dave Monzos, the Tim Cunninghams, the Harry Krauses,
I honestly think it's bigger than that, Sam. I'm going there. I think it's bigger than that. I think it's because people like me, the ones that look like this, they don't really want us to have them positions. Now, I've already been shunned, is what I'm calling it, for all these times. They put in a few hand select people that they think is the safe ones or whatever and all that kind of shit. But there's only one Raider Man. And if you're going to do something in a brand with somebody in front of somebody that helped create that shit, but not even acknowledge the person that helped create it while you're acknowledging the person that helped create it, that's just fucking wrong. There's no principle in that. There's no integrity in that. And now all of a sudden everybody just, because I hang out with this person and, I'm hanging out over these peoples. And so you making your own, like you making a brand new black hole. It's JT's black hole. It's JT's Raider Nation. How does it get like that? And why are people content to just, continue down that road? What happened to the true spirit of Raider Nation? Maybe that's what's happening to the roar. Make it easy for me, because I know where the roar came from. I created that. But I didn't create that I could say, oh, look, I did the Raider roar first. I did it as a community roar, something that we could all do together, and it wasn't done in celebration the way everybody doing now. It wasn't just a bunch of drunk motherfuckers walking down the street antagonizing people at some fucking restaurant. We started that shit. I started that shit to chastise our own team. Just like the movie, The Warriors. Raiders, come out to play. That's where the shit comes from. We was screaming that shit at 4 and 12. Did we ever do 2 and 14? I wouldn't doubt it.
Yeah.
3 and 13. That's when the shit got famous.
But we were out there. We were out there still.
And that's when the sign came in. The great big ass JT the Brick sign and all this. We making your brand. And it's okay, because it's not like nobody would ever, look at what all we did for you. I ain't never treated the motherfucker like that. But after a quarter of a century of time, we grown ass men, and you can be so throw offish on me. You can be so, like pompous and, like you looking down your nose on people and all that kind of shit. I'm not finna be begging you for no fucking time. I was making time for you. Like you alluded to about what the church thing. I've helped build a church in the time that I was. Raiderhead was building the name of Raider Man bigger than me. I wasn't ever out there pandering for no fucking attention. Rob called me when he needed me to get behind the camera. Rob called me whenever he needed a fucking voice. I'm the bullhorn. I always had a spot. Now all of a sudden there's no spot for Raider Man. I've been told by motherfuckers that I don't have no value because I'm not there. I'm not boots on the ground and all kind of other kind of crazy ass shit, you know. But it's cool. I understand that. But then you get some jackass on the so-called be kind of trying to treat you funny because they can't manipulate your fucking personal time as a human being. Where do that shit come from? But can't even have the conversation because the motherfucker be quick to call me offline. I called you offline, motherfucker. There's messages, text messages. You know me, I leave voice texts.
Yeah.
I don't want nothing
Oh, I know.
misconstrued. I don't like people to be thinking because you text something and me everything always taken out of context with me. So I text something, hey, what the fuck is up? Mother thing I'm asking you, do you want to fight? Because what's up can be taken all kind of ways.
Yeah.
I voice text because I want you to know where I'm coming from. You can hear my tone, you feel my heart. RaiderMan's a communicator. I talk too fucking fast. I can't text. But that's always been the thing that made RaiderMan special, I guess, to Rob. To the black hole, everybody that's original black hole member, everybody that know RaiderMan they know who RaiderMan is. There ain't never been no bullshit, ain't never been nothing conniving, ain't never been underhand, none of that shit. But with all that goodwill, garnered all those years of service to this new regime, since we're using these words, including somebody that was there in the beginning, who I was told by the same man that died, I need you next to this man. And then there's another man out there in Vegas. I got pictures, all of them. I need you next to this man. RaiderMan, I need you to take care of this person. RaiderMan, I need you to look out for them. RaiderMan, because RaiderMan meant something. But now all of a sudden, it's like, oh, these people, oh, we best friends. See, this is what makes it go. Because you selling this shit to them people that's not like me. You don't give a shit about the people like me unless they superstars. It's got to be Eric Allen. It's got to be Leonard Marshall. It got to be, it got to be somebody that's got a name. But RaiderMan is just a person to you. Because even though RaiderMan is a name, and I'm the name that helped build your name, you got the thumb on me because all of the people that don't look like me know you. So I guess I'm supposed to kiss your ass now. No Diddy.
Like I said, that's why we have this platform.
No Diddy, man. If I'm not worth it, it's my job as the man to just dig on that and move the fuck on. It's good. I just stopped calling the fucking radio show and all that kind of shit. It's sad that they cornered into, oh, that's the only real outlet we got. Because any real Raider fan, you see Raider Fan Radio or Raider Nation Radio, and you want to be a part of it. You want to listen to it because you're expecting to get the best shit. But it's compromised. And the next generation of Raider Nation is getting this farce because the men and the women of Raider Nation don't stand up for what's real and what's right. Not like Brother Homer did. Raider Homer stood up for what's right and got ostracized. And that's bullshit. Because there's some fucking cowards out there that all they give a shit about is making money and they don't give a fuck about people. That's fucking sad. How low have we fucking gone? But let this shit keep going the way that it's going. Like they say, where will you be in 5 years? Well, Lord willing, we all still here to see. Right down this day.
Hopefully we
See
still
how the
doing.
relationships go. Who are you talking to? Who in your little circle that's backbiting somebody else? Shit, call out the violators. Ask them about the shit that I'm talking about right now. Call out the gorillas. Ask him about the shit I'm talking about right now. Call Senor. Shit, he deserved to be in there. Ask him about the shit that I'm talking about right now. I can sit on mine. It's nothing. Because I've never been one of the motherfuckers, oh, look at me, oh, it's about me. But to be like pushed aside, to be treated like less than, as if you some kind of low-class citizen now because all of a sudden these motherfuckers has found a way to make money off the shit that you created. And they know you struggling. So, what, I'm supposed to be like some fucking indentured servant now? Come on, man. I say this shit to for the Raider Nation. Where's Raider Rob? Because when Raider Rob was able to do what Raider Rob was doing, the shit was never like this. And that was a spirit that helped build the black hole. That was a spirit that helped build the fucking Raider Nation. He was the one that coined the term Raider Nation. So whoever it is that bought the rights to start using it for business, it's really, really sad that the brother, ain't in there showing you how the fucking toys work. It ain't about this cast of characters, this Mardi Gras fucking thing. You know, all you losing is humanity in that. You're selling out our fucking souls. So whoever's behind that, I'm praying that this fucking video get to their ass and he can just challenge them to dig on themselves. Coach AP, I'm that same crazy motherfucker that was on the X or whatever the fuck they call it and tagging you in the post and hey, I'm here to come do the Raider oath for you and you saying you want the real spirit of Black Hole, right? You know? We show up, you show out, right? You want the real Black Hole. That's what you said, right? I'm member 31, coach. Black Hole original member number 31. I am the originator. I wrote the Raider Oath. I'm the only one who ever recites the Raider Oath outside of Raiderhead. But Raiderhead produced a song, Viva Las Vegas, and ironically enough, everybody with the special relationships get their shit done. And I hate to do that because I don't take shots at Stone. This ain't no shot at Stone. Well, how come certain people get picked and certain people don't? This is the exact same shit that fucked it up in the first place. This is the exact shit that Rob was talking about. And now somebody that was there from the beginning, quick to brag on that shit, know the entire history, can take a deaf eye to that. While people in this real shit is almost like dying. The people who will live and die for this shit are fucking dying. That's fucking ridiculous, man. You know, we deserve better. We deserve fucking better, man. And I love my family. I love Uncle Stone. I love my OG Raider Rob. The world should know the BFF fucking Black Hole Steph. Shit. Beautiful fucking Black Hole Steph, man. And it's like we got all them things that the Raiders was built on. The first female, the interracial cast and characters and crew, the amiable spirits, you know what I'm saying? The dangerous edge motherfuckers that can go out in the public and do everything special and everything turn good. And you can just take that from those same fucking people. Just take it from them.
And that's one reason why we started this show, is to be able to keep that history going, whether it's Raiders history, the Raider Nation history, all the history that's helped make the Raiders what they are, is why we do this show, is we want to keep that history alive, because once you forget the history, it's gone.
Man, shout out to Raider Homer, man, because like I said, and Sav, I've always been one, I was young and brash. So, RaiderMan, I'm your friendly. That was Rob's thing. That's what always cracked him up about me. I'm an anomaly because I'm your friendly neighborhood RaiderMan. But everything I said was kind of hard edge. It's like razor edge. I'm not a cuss you out type of person, but I guess I kind of got a Joe Clark way of explaining shit the way that it need to be said. But in that, my thing was, and it started with Violator, because I always appreciated Violator. And my thing about it, why I was able to celebrate him above all of the rest, was his persona. You can completely make fucking noise. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing obstructing his air, his mouth. You can talk. You are okay. Yeah, you behind your mask and all that kind of shit. But when you showing up to anything that you do, this American society, we've all been taught the same shit since we got our work permits. If you go to the exact same place at a scheduled time on regularity and you wear a certain garb, everybody else is called a uniform. They always wanted to say that Raider Nation was out there in these costumes and all that. No, we don't have fucking costumes. If anything, we got garb. When I was growing up, before RaiderMan, before I turned 18, on my 18th birthday, they started calling me RaiderMan. But before that, I was always Raiders garb on, or, Little Raider something or whatever, because all you saw me was with Raider shit on, So RaiderMan was created for me, and it was created for me in a time when I was injured. I was off from the company that where people wear brown and deliver packages and shit. And we don't give away no free advertisement. But you know what I'm saying?
I know how you feel, because I used to work for their competition.
I got injured and they threw my motherfucking ass away. And while I was on workers' comp, home all alone, trying to heal, going through plantar fasciitis in both feet, I was calling the person's show on the overnight and helping to build that fucking brand. And it was always a personal conversation, or, like I was treated like a person. Sometimes the person would call me, hey, whatever, but then all of a sudden it turned into, like quick little texts, like orders and shit like that. No, motherfucker don't have no idea what you're doing in your life. Sometimes I'll be in class, I'm with my child, you know what I'm saying? I could be sick, anything. Ain't talk to the motherfucker, and all of a sudden you throwing out these little shot put orders. And Rob used to always be like, RaiderMan, not now, because I guess it was building the shit. So whoever was getting the money or, starting to build the brand, he didn't want that to get fucked up. So he kind of silenced me. And from respect to my brother, I shut up. But look at what that's cost me. Giving up my voice and not speaking on, doing what RaiderMan would do. But because I'm so-called looking out for my friend, for my brother, his best interests, and he didn't even get the best interest out of what the fuck he was doing. And now you got all these strange motherfuckers and all these outsiders that's running what the fuck I helped create. And this motherfucker is dead in the sun, bitch. God rest his soul. Him and Dave. And all the original fucking Black Hole members, all them people that's exasperated or, like a lot of this, what I call family business, and I'm doing my best not to expose. Because you're growing up in the shit. You're going to get some shit on you. And the people that's out there making the fucking money hand over fist. People, shit, you can't tell me I can't do a show. I'm helping to build a fucking show. Just like y'all show. If RaiderMan was all of a sudden pick up a show for the Black Hole, but the Black Hole don't endorse it, what the fuck that look like?
Yeah.
And now RaiderMan out there looking like some fucking buffoon. You've been chasing these assholes around for all these fucking years. You ain't got shit. They don't even talk to you. RaiderMan look like a fucking fool. Because I'm out there selling my team away for the second time in my fucking life. Come on, man. This is your only voice. If it wasn't for us, you wouldn't have shit. No, man, come on, man. The fuck out of here. It is what it is, But it's time for motherfuckers to start standing up. Start keeping this shit real. Because I was RaiderMan when they met me. I'm going to be RaiderMan when they go. It is what it is. The guy called me home today. I got no guilt. And I've helped them motherfuckers, all of them, more than they even know how to help themselves. Because without me, they had nothing to sell. That's why Rob had me do the fucking E60 profile thing. What are you going to sell? They sold the credo. They sold the Pledge of Allegiance of the heart of the Raider fan to the fucking American public. And as soon as the fucking intention and all that shit started coming in, they cut the motherfucker that was doing it. My wife think it's because they don't own it. My wife think it's because they too chicken shit because they didn't create it and they don't have no ownership to it, so they don't give a fuck about me. But if they really gave a shit about RaiderMan, what else would you do in Vegas other than have a fucking Raider Oath campaign for all your brand new next generation of Raider fans?
It's like
man.
that. It's like the autumn wind. The oath should be up there with the autumn wind. Yeah, John Facenda didn't say the oath, but
God rest. And I'm proud of that. I'm proud of the fact that over these years that people have, and I've been told this from some upper people too, that the Raider Oath in a lot of ways is synonymous with the autumn wind. And I'm honored by that because the whole cadence and tempo of the Raider Oath was built off of the autumn wind. It wasn't created to replace the autumn wind. Just like anything else that's generational, you want to evolve. The Raider Oath was just the next level. And that's what got us here. But because they have nothing, all they have is the availability to say, oh, well, we don't own the Raider Oath. We could play John Facenda stuff. But John Facenda didn't do Raider Nation. John Facenda never knew Raider Nation. Raider Nation didn't fucking exist. See? And so they're perpetuating this bullshit fucking lie. They're perpetrating a fucking fraud. But nobody stand up and say shit about it. Because you got a bunch of brand new motherfuckers with their new personas, and all they give a shit about is getting media attention. So he using people out there, like using that, oh yeah, kiss my ass, I get you in a commercial, or I get some people to show up for your shit. That's cool. But you wouldn't do that for your friend RaiderMan? You meeting brand new motherfuckers on the streets of Las Vegas and talking their ass up like they hardcore, diehard Raider fans. But RaiderMan, you wouldn't do shit to help RaiderMan at all. You wouldn't even return that motherfucker phone call. That's where we at. So, I'm over here doing the best that I can with what I got. But, you know what I'm saying? I do my best not to drag the family business all down in the gutter. I told Mike Taylor, regardless of whatever, man, I'm always respect you. So it ain't out there and shouts out. I'm shooting his name out there. Everybody don't even know who the fuck Mike Taylor is. But I was introduced to Mike Taylor from my OG. Raider Rob put me on. Raider Rob plugged me into every fucking thing. We learned how to shoot fucking TV cameras, a TCI cable. This is all the way back before fucking Bay Cable was in the Bay Area. You know what I'm saying?
I remember TCI.
I'm driving out the fucking claw with her, man. That's how old this shit is for me.
I remember that. I remember.
And ain't none of the motherfuckers even around. Yeah. Wasn't none of the motherfuckers even around. But now they the superstars. And we the fucking peons. And you got people that was brought in later to so-called be the representation that's siding with the fucking peons, just don't say shit. Come on, man. So, they got songs about it now. It's 2024. I guess everybody coming out with their truths and shit like that. A lot of people might not know it, but it's some shit in the works right now where the Black Hole is being interviewed in the background for another historical documentary. And I done already told them, y'all might not want me talking right now. I done all the free fucking interviews that I'm going to do. This ain't about no fucking money, gal. This ain't about getting paid. This is all principle. If I'm not worth the time, if I'm not worth an opportunity to help build this project that I helped create, then I don't want to have nothing to do with none of it. I'm never going to stop being Raider, man. But I didn't stop dancing for fucking fools. I ain't your private dancer no more. If I have no value to you, I'll see you when I'm looking at you. But I'm on my way to Vegas. I'm going to be doing my thing. So when the fucking radio promotions and all that shit get contentious and all that, make sure this footage gets shown. Make sure somebody know RaiderMan ain't just that crazy N-word out there acting a fucking fool. I've been doing my best to be a person. I've always said, I'm the diplomat of the family. I was the baby brother. I'm the young motherfucker. I know you on the line right now, Sam, but I'm talking about in the pecking order of people that was doing shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I was used for a specific purpose. I was called to this. God gave me this position. Them some bitches can't fucking replace me. And the fact that you got people that's willing to ride with that shit and allow their fucking brother in Raider Nation to literally, I mean, it'd be different if I was living a good life and I just, fuck it. We just didn't call him. But to know RaiderMan doing bad, to know your brother is struggling, whatever. That's the motherfuckers that everybody gonna follow, man. Y'all said the name. I think some people need to start calling and asking some questions. Stop just taking that shit. Because I've been calling for years. I called in and started teaching.
Well, like you say, all the originals, all the old schools, like you, me, Savage, people who started in the Oakland, all that shit. The minute they moved to Vegas,
all them guys.
And you had JT the Brick and shit pushing everything. There, and I'm not going to say names of the other people because some people are trying to go, but the people who put in the work, like you have and everything else, we're just swept to the side.
That's fucked up. And we can have our own shit. That's the thing. If we were just endorsed, we can have our own shit. It's not like we really even need nothing. We got the fucking history. They need us to do what the fuck they trying to do. But to just be swept to the fucking side, and then bigger than that, to be talking down on people, to be, this tone. It's this weird ass, like, I own you ass fucking tone. That entitled ass, that entitlement. I don't even like going all this shit. Y'all know me. I don't like that political bullshit, but it reeks of it. It's like, it's like, okay, how come I can't call it molestation if my fucking uncle keep touching me? At what point as a fucking person do I get a chance to speak up for myself and say, I don't like what you're doing to me? Stop doing that. And how come nobody in the family know that the uncle keep touching and ain't nobody doing shit about it? So I'm going there. It's not necessarily a fair analogy, and God bless all the people that's being afflicted by the real bullshit that's going on in life. But this is fucking different dictionary definition of manipulation and some forms of molestation. They are raping Raider Nation for everything that it ever truly was. And the black hole is damn near dead.
Oh, I already said it. You were talking about it. I tried to get in here. The original black hole is dead. It's not the same. It is, as Homer said, he put, it's more political, but I'll even go beyond political. It's corporate. And
yeah, it's way beyond political. It's corporate. And the sad part about that is when it's so corporate that it's not even political anymore, where in the fuck is it? And why is everybody supporting it so fucking hard? Now, see, I'm then gonna get picked off for this. This is kind of shit I told them a couple years ago at the fucking Raider Nation explosion. If something happened to me, somebody do something to me, somebody better do something about it. Otherwise, all y'all bullshit. We all wasted over a quarter fucking century of our lives on some bullshit that, as a human being, had no principles to stand on whatsoever. I'm shit. I'm gonna become the fucking Frederick Douglass of fucking Raider Nation because this word got to get out. Something got to be said. Something got to get done. Raider Rob was fighting his ass off trying to do this, and I had no idea. I was literally like ignorant. Once I got word of what was really going on, that shit half-ass soured me. And I'm thinking that everything's so cool because I was just with this motherfucker. Let me call this motherfucker or whatever and start really seeing what the fuck, like really? Like for real, that's really how it is. Then you got people out there that know what the fuck this shit is like and kiss these motherfuckers' ass because they making side business deals and they all getting fat. They all getting rich off of us because ain't nobody saying shit about it. I'm challenging motherfuckers. I've done it. And it's nothing for me to do this shit again, but I'm doing my best not to be so personal because in my personal life, I got some shit that's way bigger than that. I'm under affliction right now, like medically. I got shit that this shit is doing, it's killing me. I'm doing my best not to let it because my wife and my daughter and my sons and my granddaughter deserve better than that. And I'm throwing myself away for something that I live and die for a bunch of motherfuckers that just trying to make some damn money. It ain't none of my people gonna speak up and do shit about it. So what? When I'm dead, everybody gonna show up and say, "Oh, we love Raider Man." Who gonna do the Raider oath? Is anybody who even fucking care?
They'll always do the Raider oath, and you got people speaking out for you. I mean, we speak out for you. We're trying to get you to the torch. We're trying to help you, do that shit. And that, like we said, when it comes down to it, you can't forget your history. When you forget your history, that's the end of everything.
It's the end of everything. Like, why are we even doing this shit? And they got no idea what to do in the first fucking place. So I don't understand, man. It's like I'm reading. It's hard to read. Rick Samarano.
His cousins with Maldonado.
Right. Then Force and them. Yeah, man. Man, right on, brother. Can't wait to meet you too, man. Salute to the brothers, man. Salute to the OGs. Because so many people, and it's like after all this time. All of these people that just get on and just keep flooding the airwaves, just screaming all these fucking names, it's easy to make yourself look like a fucking Raider fan. And it seems like all you gotta do now is just have a bunch of money and just buy a bunch of black shit, Then Raider Rob probably, he ain't even dead yet, but he turned it over in his future grave because they got more team. The Texans have changed their fucking team colors to black now. You know what I mean? It's just like everybody's appropriating our shit. Everybody trying to make what we've created. And by them pushing us to the side, I like that terminology, Asylum. By us being pushed to the side, it's not only diluting the history, but it's like you're killing it. You're literally like erasing this shit from the history books. And just get on the radio and just hollering and screaming and talking a bunch of shit and trying to put all these brand new people in these places just to keep selling fucking shit to these people in Vegas. It's like, that's not what Black Hole is. That's not what the Raider Nation is.
It goes even further than that. The Raiders were based, when they started in Oakland, they were a blue-collar team. Everyone talks about the Steelers, blue-collar team. The Raiders were a blue collar team. I mean, it
That's
came
what we
down
meant to be, man. It don't matter how pretty the fucking building is. The people in the building got to be able to afford to fucking get there.
But when they moved to Vegas, now they're trying to make them a white collar team. That's what it is. And you know what? Our history is blue collar. Our history is in the trenches. Our history is rebelling against everything. I mean, Al Davis, you know, in 63, 3 years, they weren't shit. Al Davis comes in and turns them into the blue collar team that they are. Turns them into the hard nosed. I mean, that's what we always said. Me and Savage said it plenty of times. We need to go back to our hard nosed Raiders football because that's when we were great. And it goes same thing with the fandom. When we were great, it's the blue collar. You, me, Savage. You said it. Violator. Senor. Gorilla. All those. You know, all these people that everybody knows. Those were all blue collars. I mean, we spent everything we had to go to the games. Yeah. We did everything we could to support the team. It's the blue collar that made Raider Nation and the Raiders what they are. It's not what they are now. I get they're trying to keep up with times, but you can't forget your history. You can't forget what made you who you are. And like we said, I said his name, JT the Brick. It was the blue collar. It was Black Hole. It was Raider Nation who made him who he is today. If it wasn't for that, nobody would know who the fuck JT the Brick was. Nobody would know who Tom Flores was. Nobody would know who John Madden was. Nobody would know who, how many players? Snake, Tatum, Matuzak, Alzado. It was all the hard nosed, the people who sacrificed everything that they had to turn around and make Raider Nation, make the Raiders, make everything what it is to be able to go to Las Vegas, get the stadium that they deserved back in the fucking 80s. But when you forget
this, on Peg telling them what you're saying right now, because you're absolutely right. Now, the team, all that hard work, them blood, sweat, and tears has transitioned the organization into an upper level place. Moving on up, like the fucking Jefferson. They up on the east side now. Everybody living good, so all the new players, the grandkids, the Max Crosby's and all them, they live in the upper level life. But what about the ancestors of the people that brought you there? So all this Raider Nation shit and all this, you want to appropriate us and take our brand, but without the people. You go and enjoy the new building. You go and enjoy our new team, all our new facilities and all the rest of that kind of stuff. But all you Raider Nation motherfuckers, all you original Black Hole motherfuckers, y'all not really part of this. Y'all can't do this shit without us. That's fucking ridiculous, man. They can't do this shit without us. I said it in the E60, and I didn't write none of that shit down. Everything that I said in the E60, nothing was scripted. That's kind of, I guess in a sense why I ended up with so much airtime or whatever, because the documentary wasn't about me. The Raider Oath was really just a contribution because, Rob, God rest his soul, he had enough integrity to make sure that the people that got him there, the people that actually put in, will get acknowledged. And, so-called nothing is guaranteed, but opportunities. And opportunities are missed with this whole brand new brand because nobody knows anything. If there's only one Raider man, like, oh, yeah, there's got to be something for you, Raider man, because, who's going to do it like you? I go over there, I'm spending my own money. I think I said all this shit, so I don't want to go back all into this, but, I made sacrifices, just like you saying. The sacrifices that I've made in those years when I was building the church, ain't nobody else going to do the Raider Oath. I was leaving what I was doing. I'm building a mobile church, pilot church, build it, set the church up, leave, go to the fucking Black Hole, go do my Raider Oath, and then go back and do worship and tear down. Oh, and I wasn't keeping up. I wasn't back and forth and all this shit. So after a while, Stone and them was doing the oath. Stone, Mutt was doing the oath. Shit, I'm not sure. Raider Rob probably did some of the Raider Oath sometimes, but it was just to keep the shit going. And after all these years, just something lasts like that for over a quarter century, something that I did on accident. Just like the Raider call. I wasn't doing, hey, everybody, some Scream Raiders like me. That's not how the shit started. But it still got us where we are.
Yeah.
And then I had that shit fucking acknowledged now. Like, well, what the fuck are you doing? That's why the Raider call is dying in Vegas. When they first got there, everybody was screaming fucking Raiders, Raiders. But what's the caveat? Raider Man was in Vegas when the team first got to Vegas. Raider Man was coming to Vegas for his every fucking opportunity he could. Going to the fucking parties, show up to your shit, do my Raider oath, all that stuff. But you don't even put no campaign behind the Raider oath, and the Raider oath is what's selling the fucking campaign. But instead, it's propaganda shit and trinkets and, oh yeah, we're gonna do this. You know, blast the world with fucking Gorilla and Violator and shit like it ain't nobody else that fucking exists. When they were never, they're not the bullhorn. That's not what they do. And these dudes is getting old. It's like, man, what the fuck? I don't know. Well, it is what it is. I feel blessed because at least there became a way for Violator to be able to still, you know, continue to be there at the games. I thought that was huge. God bless it.
I thought that was great what they did to be able to get him because
that's just outstanding. That's outstanding. And the bigger blessing is that Gorilla can afford all his shit on his own. God has really made a way for him and what he does and whatever it is that he does. You know, God just made a way. So, I got no hate there, but that's not where it ends. That's not it.
I can't afford to go, but you know what? What they did to make sure he's at the games and Gorilla, yeah, he could go. I got no knocks against him. He got his own business. He does his own shit. He's blessed. And you know what? I wish, I'll even go as far as maybe a little jealous because, I wish I could be in that same situation to be able to go, to be blessed like he was, and be smart enough to start my own business, to be able to go to all this shit. But he's put in his time. That's the thing. The people that everyone loves and reveres are the people who put in their time. They've got, like you, 20 plus years of doing this shit day in, day out, constantly. And they're just like us. They're trying to make sure our history don't get forgot. And the rest of us are getting forgot just because we can't make the games.
Well, there's kind of a caveat to that because, and I appreciate what you just said, but I believe that layer, that onion is peeled back another layer. I don't think it even goes that deep because they're not. I'll just say this: there's no disrespect to Gorilla or Violator or anybody, but I don't see anybody out there trying to make sure that Raider Man is not forgotten. I don't see anybody out there other than, like, I can speak for I don't want to keep putting his government out there, but I can speak for Raider Baron because he literally ride or die Raider Oath. You know what I'm saying? And he keep the Raider Oath out there, but he's not a pinnacle speaker. He's not a Raider Nation voice. He's not like from the black hole on some platform like Raider Man, where everybody like, oh, Raider Man's coming to the mic. Raider Man's going to speak. I got that from Raider Rob. Raider Rob was doing that shit. And then the people that know the history, Rob, had to, vacation and Raider Man became like into a prominent space because I was willing to be there and make sure I was trying to hold the mantle for Rob. So when Rob came back, and God bless it, that's the testimony he shared with me. I didn't know that shit was weird. I had no idea. Raider Man always been this young, naive, fucking kid. I don't have family and shit of my own. You know what I'm saying? My mama was murdered 2 weeks before I turned 9. Shit, that was 81. My dad been dead since 07, and he was a fucking 49er fan, God rest his soul. So I didn't have nobody to share with, without all that shit.
My dad's a 49er fan too. You're not alone.
This is how we got like this. I honestly believe that this is where the affliction come from. But we got here. That's such rich history. That's, you know what I mean? Think about the stories that we told in that black hole together when we just meeting up and having our tequila sunrises before the tailgate, or, having our shots and doing our Raider chant and, get the Raider oath going and, doing some fellowship and some storytelling. Cause, we always like, man, how's life? Damn, I'm dealing with this or whatever and blah, 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 blah. There's brothers in that parking lot sometimes, motherfucker have a ticket and they won't go. They give you the ticket because you had a fucked up ass week, and we got a couple partners that's going to be out here at the van watching the game anyway. I'm going to hang out here with them. I used to have people come from the press box and give me their ticket. Motherfucker, that journalists and shit like that. Hey, Raider Man, here, there you go. You can go to this box right here. You can actually go sit in the suite. I left a couple of things up there for you, you know? And that's how the shit used to be. But now all of a sudden, you got this one motherfucker, you know, to come over and sell this whole idea of what Raider Nation is, as if, you know, he came and discovered us on some fucking boat. And that's just so hard to fathom for me because I'm just saying, I spent so many years, and I don't like to say, well, so-called taking up for nobody. I don't believe in taking up for nobody, but I've never spoken a negative word about that individual. And to hear some of the shit that they've done, and then to see some of the shit that they're doing to me, have done and doing to me, leaves me no space to speak on behalf of an individual as if I could. But then to be doubled down in the disrespectful realm of having a person be like, I don't give a shit what nobody think of me and all this, like, you know, you so above every fucking body. You got every fucking thing, you don't share shit. Not even going into, you know, like, we got widows and shit. We got, you know, like descendants of the motherfucker that created this shit that nobody touched nothing. Nobody get nothing. Don't even get a chance to have the memories no more. And that's creating apathy because people don't want to have nothing to do with this shit no more. And these motherfuckers busy propagating and trying to make more money when the people that created the shit and are still alive, myself being one, I'm putting myself on the spot because I know what the fuck I offer. But if I got to do the shit myself, the tone is going to be different. Because by grace of God, if it get done, it's going to get done. And I'm going to tell the whole truth. I'm going to make it be known. I was watching this little pieces of that, the Hells Angels story, the secrets behind the Hells Angels and shit. I would hate to think that the black hole of all fucking organizations end up notorious for fucking over their own fucking people. I would hate to think the notorious black hole for all of the family bases literally started in families. And people don't even understand just how close and how layered that family thing is. But whatever concept you got, you have no fucking idea what you're talking about unless you were there. And to be somebody who's living this shit in between certain conversations, some of them with weapons, because I've been there, to see people stop talking to each other. Still claiming black holes, still hollering Raider Nation, Raider Nation for life, black hole, all this old shit, but don't even talk to each other. And you got people that ain't even fucking around here selling that brand. And ain't nobody doing shit about it. I think that's fucking sad. Especially since there's so many men involved. What the fuck has happened to this society, man? Motherfucker ain't even willing to fight for your own fucking First Amendment rights. But everybody bitching. That's my problem. So I backed off. You know what I'm saying? I ain't going silent. I just stopped, you know, dedicating my time. I'm gonna give somebody else some space. But all the little motherfuckers that they creating to fill that airspace, they couldn't tell you a story if they tried. None of them know what the fuck they talking about.
Nope.
Just like the mayor said, don't do the right thing. Those that know won't tell. And those that'll tell don't know. I need to know what makes Eddie run.
Like I said, that's what this platform is for. Yeah, we talk Raider football, but this is not a platform where, hey, watch what you say, hush, hush. You know, don't talk about that. It's, hey, this is like a real tailgate, the back of the truck, you know, grilling, drinking beers, whatever. You get it off
Pissing
your
and crapping
chest.
in the bucket. They don't know nothing about when we used to have the bucket with the little shower curtain around it.
Or just open the door. You got the little trying to cover the window.
They don't know them days where everybody that had a Econoline van or any form of van or SUV, we all put them in a certain spot. That was the front row. Y'all had to be, because that was our section. That's the VIP section.
Yeah.
That was the girl changing rooms, the flash rooms. They don't know about the history, man. Know nothing about them parties.
Yeah. And you said Tequila Sunrise. I was too young to go out there and tailgate at 4 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the morning before the games. I was too young. I was only 10, 11, 12 years old, but tequila sunrises before the sunrise. They were
That's
out
why we
there
did
having
tequila
parties.
sunrises.
Yeah. They were out there partying over there on what is that? The Hagenberger, when you get off of Hagenberger and you go straight, you're like between the Denny's and the Coliseum. That
On the
entrance right there.
backside.
Yeah. You got people lined up over there, people lined up on
Wasn't
the other
that
side, the
66?
side. No, the opposite.
66 became the main spot. 66, it became the main spot, but it also became the spot of contention because that's where 66th Street Mob was holding it down. There's a lot of history in that. God rest Grizz, man. God rest Greg Jones.
And that's the history that we have. You go to the tailgates now, and it's like everyone's trying to jam up on in Lot J, but at the Coliseum, you can go to Lot D, and that's the black hole, and you go to over there against the fence, the 66 side. You know, you had them over there. You can go around the Coliseum, and I used to just meet people at the BART station, come across the catwalk. Hey, come to our tailgate, okay? And I'll go meet new guys over there, and new family over here, and new people over there, and it was family. It didn't matter if you had a Raider jersey on, Raider hat, whatever. Hey, get food, get drink, whatever you wanted to get. You come by, hey, whatever. That's how it used to be.
He used to go even further than that. You could be wearing the opposing team shit and still get invited to get food and drinks.
Yeah,
you might get pulled out of that shit. And the shit might end up in the fire on somebody's grill. But hey, and don't forget, we used to dress their ass up. We used to dress the dummy as they fucking ass. I actually got a few pictures. I got some pictures that I think I came up on when I went to Raider Dave Monzo's funeral. God rest his soul. But they had some pictures up there from us out there on 66. Maybe I'll shoot you guys some of those pictures and shit like that. Man, I really miss Rob because you know how his crazy ass was. I'll always miss him doing the Chitty Chitty Bang Bang story because, you know, out there on 66, I was a newbie coming out there to the tailgates. And, you know, when the Raider O started getting big, when I really became that official, you know, bullhorn of the black hole, you know, that was his thing. Like, motherfucker, you got to be out here. We need you online because, you know, we the fucking cocks. We the cocks of the walk. We need the chickens going crazy for the sunrise. We got to be out here crowing and doing our thing for the sunrises. And at first we were just taking shots of tequila at sunrise, and then we started doing the tequila sunrises because we call ourselves stepping up our game. You know what I mean? But I got some of those pictures, and I can share some of that shit. And I always forget. I mean, I remember him. I had this Nissan hard body truck, like the 88 version, whatever it was. But you know, the ones with the rounded nose and shit. But they light as shit in the back. Long story short, I had already crashed up the truck, and I was on kind of like down. I was down and out. I was dealing with some shit, and at the time, I would just, if I had a quarter tank of gas, I'm coming to the game. I'll be there. I do RaiderMan all day, whatever. Most of the time, I end up with a ticket. That's how I got to the game. A lot of the times, I never had a season ticket. But there's one particular morning. It's about 4:30, 5 o'clock, and I'm coming off the freeway. I call myself going out there early, and my fucking engine blows. Literally, as I'm coming off the exit, right off of 66, and you know how it was a little bit of incline to come up over the overpass, and it started losing power. So I'm losing compression. I'm pumping this damn thing. It was a 5-speed, so I throw the damn thing in second gear, and I just gun it, and I get up enough RPMs, bah! And so now you see, I got my stereo going. I had 8-inch bazooka tubes behind my seat. So I had bump. I had like real beat in my truck. And I'm coming over the hill and the lights is all dim. I had already crashed the truck. I hit this pole outside the freeway. That's another long story. But the eyes kind of looked cockeyed. It was funny. So Rob would always say, "What the fuck?" You screaming, "What the fuck is that? Who the fuck is that?" And I'm screaming out the window, "Beer man coming! Beer man coming! Make me a space!" Like, Raider man's coming. Everybody. They move these fucking cars. I glide down the hill, pull into this little spot right there. And as the truck is hissing and spitting and shit in my dim ass lights, everybody just started screaming. I'm telling you, if we all had guns, everybody been out there shooting in the fucking sky, and we just out there screaming, Raiders! And the car just hissing. And that shit sat there and smoked. The engine seized up on me. And when they opened the gates I think they used to open them at 8 then. They were a little earlier then. And then they let us in the parking lot, and somebody had to push my fucking truck with their truck into the parking lot. We parked it all the way in the back. And then the tow trucks after the game, when they kicked us out, they towed my truck down to that Shell station on San Leandro. And I had to leave my truck out there to the fucking, I think it was like Tuesday or Wednesday before I even could go back and go get my truck. But I didn't miss that game. And that used to be what it was all about. RaiderMan had a way of making the game no matter what. When I got shot, shit, I got shot the night before we played the Jets for the wild card. And then by winning that game, we were in Dubai. So I was in the ICU. I didn't miss because we had to buy, and I think we played Carolina. I missed the Cam Newton game. We beat Carolina, and then I was back in the black hole when we played the Dolphins. We beat the Dolphins 27-0, and I was back in the black hole. They was calling me the Ghost of RaiderMan, and we had the dummy still then, but they wouldn't let me have the dummy because the doctors was threatening that I'd die. They said my body was dead, so. But I wasn't. I was at the fucking game. How can you be dead and alive at the same time?
Magic.
See, and that's like, yeah, we go to the tailgates and everything, but it was always about the game. The tailgates was just like you reunite with all your brothers and sisters and have a drink, have some food, whatever. But we all came there for the game to bring that energy from the parking lot into the stadium.
And the Raider Oath initiations, those were huge, especially because Stoner Dude, I believe it was really like his idea. I don't want to go too far with that because I don't know. I wasn't privy to that, but I know it was a great idea. And what they did was, there's always new people coming in. There's so many people that's initiated into the Raider Nation. Like you said, that's not even Raider fans. People come in their own team garb, but they still learn the Raider Oath. They take the beer shower, and they become part of the Black Hole. They become honorary members of the Black Hole.
Baptized.
And all of those traditions need to be upheld. It's a new day and age. Maybe some pompous motherfuckers in Vegas that don't necessarily want a beer poured on them or whatever the case may be. But that was a rite of passage. That shit meant something because in the Black Hole, you going to get beer splashed on you. So the first thing we initiate, motherfuckers, is you got to expect that you're going to get wet. You're going to sweat, you're going to lose your voice, and you're going to have at least one beer completely dumped on you and a bunch of spritzes throughout the game because it's got to happen. And those were the things that we talked about. Well, Rob talked about it in the E60. There was people in that section that wanted to be that white collar crowd. Hey, I paid so much for my tickets and I deserve to watch this game and all the rest of that bullshit. But he called me down to the Black Hole. I'm up there screaming, Raiders, all that shit. Hey, man, come down here, man. You should be with us, man. That kind of shit. That's how everything was brought together. This shit that they doing is tearing us apart. It's already got everybody competing for airtime and all that shit. People can't hardly half-ass even be family because business is coming first. That's way too corporate for something that's all family.
And that's the element that they forgot is the Black Hole is built on family. It was like even when we had the softball games at Weeks Park, it was like a family barbecue, and we just happened to share it with Raider executives and the Raider.
Right, the Raiders just started coming to the shit.
Yeah, so that's what it used to be, and that's how it used to be. Even in Oakland's first, when they were in Oakland the first time, the players was a part of the community. They said that the Raiders team. So when the Raiders organization is probably the closest, like their image is the people of Oakland, is the fans, is that blue collar, that's the closest team. You had the Steelers, blue collar, steel mill and all that, whatever, but the Raider team and the Raider fans, it's like intertwined, and it's like I don't know if they're trying to separate the fans from the Raiders and try to make us part of the
No,
other,
you know what
32
it is?
teams.
It ain't no Raider fans taking care of that shit. If it okay, can you imagine a scenario where Raider Man was put into the Raider Nation Radio uh project? That's what I call it, the project. And I, after being a fan who never had a season ticket, who could barely afford to get tickets, you know, I'm not gonna make a way to find, not only original Black Hole fans and shit like that to keep the history and pay homage to the people that kind of got us here, but to open up venues for our next generation to be able to get at the games. Not like, okay, and I don't want to take shots at the way they're doing it now, but everything is, oh, I got this charity and we can raise this money and we'll get these tickets and okay, put me out there because I just did this great thing. But all of this shit is not coming from Raider fans. So the propaganda around it is forced and fake. And, it's almost like you just sharing, you just showing off with these little monkeys that you got, just doing you tricks with this whole yard full of puppies. And that's not what this shit is. Think of how beautiful this thing would be if somebody, and I'm going to use me again. I'm riding the Raider Man wave today. But think about it. Raider Man, this kid who's been a Raider fan his entire life. His mom's murdered 2 weeks before he turned 9 years old. His favorite team at 8 years old. Everybody know that you start identifying with all your major shit 8, 9 years old. It's the most pinnacle time of my motherfucking life. Moms die or get killed December 18th, 81. The Raiders leave March 82? Somewhere around in there. And I'm like, at this time, 8 years old, 9 years old, I'm forced with all these fucking life decisions, all these choices, all this. Who the fuck am I? And I end up Raider Man. I'm born in 1973, January 1st, 1973. I'm fucking Raider Man. All the fans that's older than me, all the people that have put in time, season ticket holders, memorabilia, motherfuckers with more tattoos than me, all this shit. But I earned that puppy name. That's what the people named me. And I was part of building what is being sold worldwide, and other fan bases now want to emulate. They want to be just like us. Like Sam, you just talking about, we're a blue collar team. Look at Detroit. You don't get more blue collar than Detroit. And them motherfuckers is finding ways to be professional and they keep their fans respected. They don't have shit like Raider Nation, but they doing their best to build something. They want to be like us so bad. And they going to get a horrible representation of what Raider Nation really is. They mimicking the wrong shit.
Yeah.
And so you got this horrible ass seed of all these fucking people that just out using each other and abusing each other and all this. No different than the fucking 49er fans that all of a sudden start wearing black jerseys and beating up on each other because they wanted to be tough like Raider Nation. We Whiners Nation and all the rest of this bullshit because everybody want to be like us so bad. But they didn't make us. We're going to really let them break us? Man, this shit. I tell you what, I know I ain't the only motherfucker. And this is just how much I love it. This ain't nothing. It's not personal at nobody unless you fit the description of whoever the fuck they are. But for anybody that truly love the Raiders and Black Hole and the true Raider Nation, that's really living Raider Nation for life, that's truly Black Hole for life, we ain't never been this motherfucking pansy, ever. We told more dirty jokes about each other. We told more racial shit, and we wasn't never this motherfucking political. And everybody's so scared, I ain't gonna get the business deal or whatever. These are my friends, and I'm gonna support them and all that shit. And then look, think about this. The whole dynamic of what's creating the culture of Raider Nation in Vegas is the players and a coach who come from the East Coast who getting his very first time coaching ever in his life. He doing my call. He screaming Raiders. He headlining Raider Nation Radio. Somebody just learned how to scream Raiders. Max Crosby got the biggest podcast because he got money and a bunch of friends, and now he got a platform, and so he put on his friends. So now everybody got a fucking platform. Who JT put on? Who JT friend? Who will name one black person? I don't even want to do it like that. Name one person that I'll say it like this. Name one person that look like me. That's not NFL retiree or part of the team right now or in the media, like a workmate. A peer. Who you friends with? You don't have no black friends? You never had a black man over your house before? Because that would be a problem if you Raider Nation. I can't think of many Raider fans that ain't never had like black people over their house or white people over their house or Mexican cousins.
I recently got kicked out of a group because apparently I'm racist.
See what I'm saying? And all that shit is like it's being created. That's the problem that I'm having. And it's being created because you got people that's not of this brand. They're not our breed. They don't share our culture. So they don't give a shit about our history. And they sure the fuck don't give a fuck about our future. We are a tax endowment to most of these motherfuckers. We are, portfolio, on their fucking investment line. But they're not even showing us how to get there ourselves. Just like you, Asylum, you put your shit down to help Savage. JT couldn't put no shit down to help Raider Man. Like, literally. Y'all brought his name up, so I'm gonna use his name right there. But I think that's a fair question.
His name, like I said, I said it to begin with. Shit,
But what's worse than that? What's worse than that is when he was calling me damn near every other fucking day and begging me to make sure I get there. Hey, when you gonna get here? And I got all these texts. I got voice texts, video texts, all that shit. And I can't get there fast enough. Come on, we need you, and all this rest of this bullshit. But through all of that, I can call you and say, hey, I need this. I need an opportunity. I'm out of a job right now. I got all the time in the world. I can be in Vegas. My wife trying to get me a fucking apartment. Can you help me to get something? I can have conversation with Jay Schrader. I could talk to Mike Pritchard. I'm name dropping. I don't do name dropping. But I'm going out my way I'm trying so hard to put myself in the place to be. But the people that I help to get there don't even return my fucking calls. So I'm here being the bullhorn for the black hole, but the black hole don't even support me. They don't even endorse me, let alone support me. I ain't never asked nobody for no money. But you got to show, you got connections, you got sponsorships, you got all these,
I could tell you why, but I'm not going to drop that fucking name right there. But, that's because of who is now in charge of the fucking black hole, who happens to think he knows everything about the black hole and thinks he is the black hole. And he really don't know shit about how it started, where it started, and everything that it took to get started. And the fact that he moved to Vegas now thinks he's the fucking, how do I say it? The man, he is the fucking black hole, and he really ain't shit when it comes to anything to do with the black hole.
All I can say is that was very professional. I think you handled that greatly. And I say this, and I'm going to say this honestly. I'm praying that you didn't say a name, so whatever. I could take a guess. I won't. That's pointless. I do believe that I know, but
exactly
I know. But I want to say this like literally, and I'm praying that this is received on all. I'm praying that this make God proud. The issue that we're having, I always call it it's a fellowship issue. I've endeavored conversations with the person that I believe you're talking about because I try to go to the heart of the issues. I don't like to talk around shit. So if I got something to say about somebody, I'll make a point to talk to that person. And I've made a couple of endeavors as somebody and tried to talk to them in a few different endeavors. And I don't kiss people's ass, but just to kind of let them know who I am and be a friend and just be there. Hey, I am who I am. I am Black Hole. So if we family, let's be family. And I know exactly what you mean because I got received the exact same way, which is not at all And it's sad because it's further separating the family because there was somebody very pinnacle to everything that we're doing that put us in connection. So to have that connection made, have a little bit of dabble of communication, and then you just drop off the face of the earth, and now nobody even acknowledge me. Now there's a shift in the black hole. So it's pretty blatantly obvious. And the fact that the person that you mentioned before is pushing that. Now they got best friends in the black hole and all this shit. So it's like, we are the real black hole need to start taking this shit serious. And I'm trying to get on level with Coach AP know, because he's the kind of person that'll do something about it. I think Max Crosby is the kind of person that'll help do something about it. There's a lot of men with integrity that don't know what's going on because they're being shined and they're being blinded by this business model. But I believe that's only because ain't nobody really standing
And they
up.
went corporate and it's about the fucking almighty dollar.
Yeah, but even in that, because RaiderMan spoke on this shit. I done been out there. But all they do is they turn a black man like me into a pariah. You know, that kind of shit has happened to a lot of our prominent people. You know, black people don't have a spokesperson because, you know, we tend to get dealt with. But when it come to Raider Nation, I'm all in. So if this is how I'm going out, like I said, somebody do something to me, y'all motherfuckers better do something about it. But I'm speaking on it, and I've been speaking on this shit since the beginning.
That's one thing. Something happened to you, you'll never be forgotten. You got people like us who always fucking keep, you know, that memory alive. That's the one thing that we have made clear when we first started talking about doing this show, is making sure the history never died. And you are definitely part of the history. And you know, everybody who forgets history, you know, and the person we're talking about is the one person, what little history he knows, done forgot it when it comes to fucking the black hole. I mean, I'm not as deep into the black hole as you or Oakland Raiders Savage. I've got 17 years with the black hole, and that was it. But, you know, that's still 17 years. I mean, that's
still 17 fucking years.
You know, that's a long time. You guys got that extra time there, and, you know, and I respect all that shit. But, you know, I got enough history with the black hole that I think I know more than the person we are talking about. Because I don't remember seeing him around at first, not when I was first going there. And when it comes down to it, you know, history is important. When you forget your history, you forget what made you what you are. And when it comes to the Raiders, our history is what we were, and we are trying to make new history, and we want to get up there. And that's the whole point of the draft and shit.
And the new history that they creating ain't our history. Exactly. That history don't represent us. That's what I've been on their radio station saying. This shit don't represent Raider Nation. Y'all can call this shit Raider Nation. You can do whatever the fuck you want. But the Raider Nation's about the people. For the people, by the people. That's how the shit started. Started with Raider Fan Magazine, and it'll never be no different than that. You got a bunch of motherfuckers out there that picked up on their little platforms. Raider Rob was preaching this shit in a mantra for the longest time. People try to shut his word down to where he had to start legally fighting for himself. God bless his heart. I hope he win in a landslide. It ain't none of my business because I didn't create the motherfucking thing, but what I'm doing. But I did what I'm doing because of him. I did what I'm doing to help out the project. I couldn't even fathom coming into some shit, especially if I didn't even help create it, and tear it down. And then try to act like you're not accountable for that. That's not man shit. And so, like I said, considering that the climate is the way that it is now, this is just how I'm going to handle it. Because it don't matter. I don't have no fucking position no way. I got nothing to lose. I'm Raider Man with them or without them motherfuckers. I'm here when they got here. I'm going to be here when they die. They don't control shit. It got nothing to do with me.
I'm just a lowly asylum that, you know, loves what he does and loves his team. And no matter what, I'm going to support my team. But when it comes down to it, I don't want to forget the history. I don't want nobody to forget the history. And I mean the good, the bad, and the ugly. We've got history that goes great. We got history that goes bad. And we can't forget none of it because it's who made us what we are now, the three of us. I mean, our history has made what we are as people. It's made Gorilla. It's made Senior. It's made Violator. It's made everybody who's in there and the people who are trying to do this shit. but there's the right way of doing shit and there's the wrong way of doing shit. And right now, you got a whole bunch of people who are just going the corporate way, throwing a lot of money at shit and getting all the fame.
Yep.
And you know what? It is what it is.
And that's really sad, though, because then literally what you just touched right there was where I believe that was the jump off point for me when I approached these individuals. And I started with the individuals that Rob put me in touch with first, because to me, that's the line of communication. But you realize who got so-called power and who don't. And so the people with the power are so disassociated from this shit. All they give a fuck about is merchandise, selling shit. And you can feel it. But the sad part about it is the people who's supposed to be the liaisons, the people that's supposed to be the glue, the people that's supposed to be the relationships, they're not manning up to do what they're supposed to be doing. And I believe that that's where the accountability lies, because you being a liar, you being a shyster when you do that. You're not even gonna stand up for what's real, regardless of who making money. If you got money to be made, if you invest, it's no different than your fucking football team. You made money off of whatever you made off the team last year, merchandise sales and all that shit. If Mark Davis don't turn around and reinvest that shit in the team, in a few years, the team gonna be sorry as fuck. He's starting to get that shit right a little bit because he didn't know shit about football. You can't blame a motherfucker for what he don't know. But he answered that honestly in the beginning. I know what I don't know. And what I know is I'm finna get a bunch of motherfuckers in here that know what I don't know. And he's been consistently doing that. I'm hoping that some of that shit rubbing off on him, so he's starting to get an idea of what he thinks for himself. But even if he don't, at least he getting what I believe are the right people in place. Why wouldn't the radio station want to do that? Why wouldn't anything that's got anything to do with the integrity of building the organization of the fucking Raiders brand? Why wouldn't men have the integrity to put the right shit in place? It's really, really sad to destroy something that's so fucking beautiful. But, it's almost like I kind of got to just stand outside and watch this building burn at this point. Because,
and
I'm not going to be exploited.
I live in Kansas. We burn our fields. You know why we burn our fields? Because we get rid of the fucking old and allows new growth. And that's what that's what it feels like is being done in Raider Nation right now. Is they're trying to burn us out. Yeah, trying to burn us out.
That's perfect analogy. Perfect analogy. You hit that shit on the fucking head.
And bring in the news. They're trying to burn us out. But you know what? We're like that goddamn weed that won't go away. Our history will never go away. And you got people like the three of us here who will sit here and constantly beat it into people's head what it was.
They right. Captain Crabgrass, Neil.
And like I said, if you make it to Bakersfield, I'm gonna put you up there because you deserve to be up there. Everyone deserves to hear the oath live from the person who wrote it, from the person who speaks it. And if you go to Bakersfield, I'm putting you up there, and I'm gonna try my best to introduce you to the folks that could be the powers that be, whoever's over there. So I'm gonna try my best because that's what I'm trying to do.
I'll be honored, bro. I'll be honored. Consider that on my schedule. I'm officially just doing my best to get myself there now. So I know it's at Kern. I'm seeing the thing on the ticker.
I'll go this far. I'll pay for your ticket to get in if we have to.
I'll get my ass there. If I got to start kicking me a roller scooter and start on our way down, I start kicking the roller scooter.
If we got to pay for a ticket for you to get in, you hit me up. If you ain't got it, I got you on that one. We'll get you up on that stage to do the Raider Oath.
I love it. Count me there. We have our conversation offline. It's 5-minute conversation. Let's make my ass get there.
Yep.
I'm honored.
That's what I'm gonna try to do. If you get up there, I'm putting you up there. I'm the MC. I'm gonna put you up there. We're gonna take it to church, and we're gonna because it's all about exposure. It's all about exposure. Just like a fire, you're that flame. Let that wind, that autumn wind hit it. It's gonna turn into a brush fire and turn into a blaze. So that's what we're gonna try to do.
Let's go.
We have to end right now because it's getting late. But
I called myself going to jump off the first hour. I hope I'm not in trouble.
No,
I had something I was supposed to be taking care of.
Hey, it's all good. Hey, if we didn't love what you were saying, we wouldn't have fucking stayed on for fucking as long as we did. Trust me. Trust
Hey,
me.
and if I didn't love it, I wouldn't have stayed on. This certain shit got to be said. Certain shit got to get done. And in my mind's eye, it's really a sad day that we're having this discussion about the black hole and about Raider Nation. But what's sadder is that this bullshit started so long ago, and nobody did a fucking thing about it. And so now, you got this fucking snowball that's rolling downhill and it's been picked up some size. Now, it ain't scary. Regardless of what it hit, it's just ice. It's going to melt. But the fact that the next generation has to survive this, it's like a 5-year period of disillusionment at this point. Everybody, all these fucking Mardi Gras son bitches, everybody worried about what's happening with the adults. What about the fucking kids? All of this shit is supposed to be about the next generation. It's supposed to be about the babies being able to have some fun and get some exposure and find out what they love in their lives being brought up in Raider Nation. The fucking grown-ups, these selfish sons of bitches that are trying to make money is taking everything. And it's so counter Raider Nation and Black Hole spirit that I really don't, I can't imagine that it's selling well. And so I'm praying to God. That's kind of where I was going before, what I was saying, that whoever this power may be, I'm praying that God touch your heart in the right spot and help you realize that, pride has to be paired with poise for it to be a Raider thing. Pride is by itself is a 7 deadly sin, but pride and poise is the Raider way. And there ain't much poise being exhibited in whatever the fuck that farce is being executed. The people deserve better. Maybe I'm selfish for stepping out there, but I'm a man, and I believe it's my responsibility as RaiderMan to represent myself before the next generation and to keep propagating the true spirit of what Raider Nation is and what the black hole was created to be. So, unless you got something better than that, I would pray that you get your ass off your shoulders and get this family right, because no matter how much money you're making, all you're doing is killing this brand. And Las Vegas deserves better. The Raiders organization deserves better. And I'm praying to God somebody hear this shit, call me. I ain't hard to find. And the motherfuckers that we mentioned by name, they show the fuck no better. And if they don't, they ass need to be exposed.
Hey, I just got some news. We actually had we had a raffle going on and everything, or not a raffle, yeah, it was supposed to be a raffle, and we had 2 winners out of it. And Anna from our chats just said if her tickets haven't been sent to her, her tickets are yours.
Hey, Anna. I think God bless your heart, Queen. Right on.
Look, we got you in. That's 2 tickets. You and your wife get to be part of the black hole section, and then we get you on that stage through the Raider Oath. We got you in the show. I will talk to Lorenzo tomorrow to find out what's going on. But Anna donated her tickets to you to make sure that you're there.
It's going down. I'm proud. Now that Raider Oath will be done in honor of Anna. You on that stage with me, whether you're there or not, Queen.
There you go. See, we trying to get you to that torch. I'm gonna try to use. I know people out there in Vegas. I'm gonna try to do what I can to get you out to that torch. But that's the goal right here. That's the goal right here for this season, is to get you out there, that torch, get you out there, so the whole stadium can hear the Raider Oath, and maybe that can be the staple, the new tradition out there in Las Vegas in the Legion Stadium in front of that flame. But we like to say thank you for everyone who was watching. We had a lot of views. Everyone was listening to it. What you got to say, Raider Man? We have the highest views on this show every time you come on. I think you might have to replace me. I don't mind being back on stage doing.
It might be me that he's got to replace. I don't know yet.
We came in this bad boy as a triple, man. That's what they trying to do to it. They trying to separate us. We got to break the chain. We stand together.
I want to thank Peggy Holmes, who came on earlier with us on this draft show. And of course, always RaiderMan, who is always there Because you covered for me a couple of times. I was going through some stuff and everything. I'm still going through some stuff, but I appreciate you always being there. And even when I call you on some personal stuff, you're always there. You know, we haven't talked as much lately. I've been busy driving and trying to do a whole bunch of stuff, but
but me and RaiderMan have talked.
Yeah,
we have talked and everything. And you know what? My phone's always open to you. You need to just talk. You need to vent, anything like that. My phone's always open to you.
Appreciate that, man. And you know, get this opportunity by God's grace to say this. I love you both sincerely. I love we family, and I appreciate these opportunities. You know what I mean? It's like it's one thing to be appreciated, but you guys make me feel honored. And you know, we've been doing this thing so long together. You know me. I never put myself in a different space than nobody else. We can't compare testimonies, but you guys helped me grow through everything that I'm living. And, you know, I wouldn't want to be doing this shit without you. You know, it's like it may be challenging, but you the proof that it's worth every bit of it. And you know, specific shit. I do anything for Raider Nation. It don't matter. I'm gonna do my part of the shot, man. And shouts out to Miss Anna. I wanted to say, Zato, I wanted to say, God bless you guys. You know, for all the real Raider Nation people out there, you know, just keep plugging, man. You know, we got to hold on to what we did. We got to hold on to who we are. And it's challenging times right now. I got to be honest with it. I honestly believe that God has put it on my heart to even be able to create my own, what you call it, not platform, but I want to create a foundation. I want to create a way to meet people where they are that live with the same kind of afflictions that I do and that are what I'm calling growing through it. People that choose to go through nothing and grow through everything. And it takes, you know, this fellowship, man. It takes this family. And I love you guys. I love you for loving me. Appreciate that.
Hey, we love you too, brother. We love you too.
Yes, yes. With that, thank you very much, Raider Nation. The real Raider Nation, who we try to keep alive as the real Raider Nation on this show. Thank you very much, Raider Man, for always being there. Like I said, we always play the oath because, and Homer was the first one to start playing the oath on his shows. I figure since I worked with Homer, I got to carry that torch, carry that tradition, keep Raider Man, that oath alive. Okay, that's the John Facenda. That's the Steve Sable right there, because he's the one that wrote the Autumn Wind. So,
shouts out my brother, man, Raider Homer, man. God bless your heart. I love you, brother. Still got to get a chance to get together. Wherever you at now, I'm doing my best to get there.
Yes, and thank you to sorry, Asylum. Any last words?
No, I said what I needed to say.
All right, then, like we do always, we always end from a word with Raider Milt, or for me, at Tennyson High School, Coach Wallace, because he speaks the truth. And just like what Raider Man said, is also at the end of each show, the message that he says. With that, we say, good night, Raider Nation. Happy Draft Eve. We'll see what happens tomorrow, and we'll come back on Friday for reaction and see if we're going to be smiling or if we're going to be making, where is it at? Or if we're going to be making this face. You know, I'm gonna try to get him on too. I had to message him. I had to. All this stuff. I'm trying to get the show. I gotta message him and be like, "Can you come on Friday? We'll talk about that and see if he had made that face on whoever we picked." So, with that said, good night. I saw that.
Good night, Miss Anna. Ready. God bless you, Queen. Thank you.
And thank you again, Anna, for that. Raider
That's
Man's
outstanding, man. I want to get that lady some flowers.
Yeah, she is.
I agree.
She is she's always on our show. She's always in the comments, and we appreciate that. Because we're a little
Shouts
show
out
that
for
could.
everybody in the chat. I saw my name flash a lot of love, man. God bless everybody.
We're that little show that could, but we're gonna keep building. We're gonna keep getting out there because Raider Nation, the real Raider Nation, needs a platform to talk, and that's what we're here to do. Real Raider talk, real Raider Nation talk. All right, then. With that, say good night. Good night, Raider Nation. Cue up that video. Here we go. One last time. Let's do the Raider chant.
Raiders!
All you other NFL teams, your tailgates are weak. Your teams are weak. We might be down right now, but it doesn't take away the history. And all you Raiders out there need to know your fucking history of who the fuck you playing for and where the fuck you're playing. Damn it. Oh, and by the way, I won my last cage fight again. I'm still undefeated. And you NFL motherfuckers out there that you think you want some, come on and get some anytime.